it cuts quite like a memory, especially one that you're trying to forget. But I can't find the energy to rewind and reset.
you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that. So what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you change. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out of. Try but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am.
let you explore imperfect visions like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand. Tell me this is real and it will never end. This is not what I came here to find. Memories show that I'm out of time. See a shadow, don't know if it's mine, but I see you, I see you, I see you, I see seeing in color. Lost without you, I can't make it through the night. How come I'm not seeing in color? How come I'm not seeing in color? How come I'm not seeing in color? So far gone, I'm caught up, infatuated by our symmetry. It feels like before now, I was only half of me. Thought that I had figured it out, never felt it rationally, but this sense of urgency has me wondering. Thought that I had figured it out, nothing could get through to me, but this kind of chemistry has me wondering. When you're not around it, all goes black and white. How come I'm not seeing in color? Lost without you, I can't make it through the night. How come I'm not seeing in color? How come I'm not seeing in color? So far gone. Go on myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. I'm gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon.
You'll still have common days. Forget someone's name mid-conversation. Count your tips at the end of your shift. Buy something disappointing off the internet. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Alrighty, well, apologies for the delays. We had a game, allegedly, over in Division 1, but things got a little bit messed up as one of the players for Fisher College wasn't able to arrive on time. Which Fisher College side is that, the question? Fisher College Detonate. That's who. So likely, I don't know if it's confirmed yet. Probably is confirmed to be a forfeit. So we quickly scrambled things to get us over to Division 2, which is where we're going to be in the NECC playoffs. A whole lot of fun coming up where we got ITE Scarlet up against the MSU Mavericks. My name is Vincent, joined by Why Not. I know we're doing things quick here, so hello and welcome again, I believe, for the second time this semester.
I don't know if I've been on NECC yet. I don't remember, though. It's been a lot of college games, though. I've been all around the block, and, you've been dragging me along, and I do appreciate the hospitality from both you and these guys. But speaking of hospitality, we're going to need to do a little bit of housekeeping for the sides of these teams on their maps that have already been chosen, already been started, might I also add. On map number 1 of Ancient is where we're going to be jumping into momentarily. Dust 2, Nuke, Mirage, and Overpass the finisher and final. No Inferno, no Anubis, cut and dry, Vincent, down to the point.
Yeah, we're getting into things as quick as possible here, as we're essentially leading towards the conclusion here in Division 2. ITE Scarlet and MSU, like maybe a quick taster just to kind of let you guys know where this was. MSU closed out Group A, top of the group, lost just one best of 3, whereas ITE, they were in, I think it was Group B, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, double checking. It was Group C, my apologies. They were second to the top in CSU, just above them. We are in mid-match. Again, apologies. But I do want to mention this was ITE up 5-1, if I'm not mistaken, and MSU have kind of mounted a comeback. So we're jumping in as quickly as possible, and so we'll be here for a little bit of a tack pause.
Already, taking a quick glance at the scoreboard, see what's up with our heaviest of hitters being 13-7. Hardy, clearly the one paving the way. Teammates not exactly playing a poor game by any means, though, not that far away is in a way, but there's somebody separating themselves from the pack here for ITE Scarlet, whereas just one round behind, doesn't look like the Mavericks have anybody to that same degree, but the AWP is there for Kareem, could be a difference maker as their top performer. Clearly, Yard already has.
Yeah, this is a squad for MSU that I've gotten to see one other time. I got to watch their quarterfinal matchup against UGA. I think we've lost the game. Apologies.
Could bring a good time to have our faces back on screen. And you didn't, a little daily dose of Instant and Why Not never hurt nobody.
Yeah, exactly. We'll jump back in, but listen, there's a pretty accomplished Mavericks squad in general. I mean, Kermikov previously was a FPL player. Definitely has been an impressive set of games for the Mavericks, where they were 6-1, like I mentioned, in Group A. Only loss was to UCO and the Varsity squad. And otherwise dropped just 17 rounds for the season. Good rock and roll. Did miss the Mavericks were able to win another round. So now we've got a tight scoreline. Aggressive move from Kareem to get them man advantage.
Yeah, and in that last round, I had mentioned at the freeze time before we had unfortunately dropped from the server that Kareem's AWP could be that difference as it already was. They got a 3K that round, so I'm a prophet from the future, so it seems, because we teleported to today and to now, and it's exactly as would have been expected, now leaving a bit of a hole for ITE as to the game plan punched right through, losing Crimster. It becomes problematic as to what the follow-up move will be, but having an AK for Hardy could still be something to work with. As they've pumped and delayed the fake, there's still somebody here.
Make that contact, and he will be, even as the nade takes one down. Kareem goes to the top of the smoke and Donut. He gets his before going. It's the same. ITE will get themselves a bomb plant, 3v3. The HP ain't great, but bigger issue for ITE is when these smokes start to fade, MSU have hit 2 players and the capability to get back in here.
Be an immediate dink down, though, from Hardy. It's an AK lethal at all ranges. especially if it's to the dome and dips in towards Temple. It will be red. Where could he have gone otherwise? Very little spot, but the time running as low as it were. Phantom's clutch on, needs to find the first of their defenders and can't quite do it. Stick has been stuck, and it's going to be a lead for the Mavericks in this match.
Pretty stalwart comeback from these Mavericks, considering, as I mentioned, they were down 1-4 to begin this and were already posting a comeback when we started. Jump back in here, did so. 5-5 on the tied scoreline, and even as the hold itself, maybe a little bit shaky, but Kareem certainly wasn't, posting up that double kill. And fast out mid. It isn't exactly pretty, but Hardy does deliver a crack onto Solo first. Krimikov's trade is required. He does bring that up. Still alive. Taking here, keeping the donut. Second fight. Krimikov, and he got away with that. Swings wide, and it's still not enough. Krimikov gonna even get a reload off. They cannot dislodge him from this position. Buys time for Kareem, is unfortunately just missing the mark on Kareem's position. Means that he can get 2 shots off before even getting shot back at. Phantom all alone.
Has the bomb, has some health, has a lot of time to work with after all these fights have transpired. You wouldn't think that with guns that would be true, but they're on the prowl pretty quickly for their early round fights. Vindicated when winning them. Mavericks with their lead, looking for a little bit more. And separating, scattering, ever so slightly. Enough to where there shouldn't be room for one kill and the bomb plant if the other were to activate. But swinging at the same time, not at all an option. Hunting a kill, that's more than reasonable, I feel like, in this scenario, given the fact that they do have that time to operate on. A tap, no full stick. Easy does it, spray to the leg from the AUG. A little bit messy, perhaps, but Donut closes, and the Mavericks went out on the half after what was an insane 5-1 spread. They don't let them get a damn thing after that.
Impressive. You know, it's about resiliency often, this game, Counter-Strike. You gotta be able to stick with it even if the times are a little bit tough, and that's what it was at the beginning of this map. Mavericks, that is, and they have recovered. They're granted onto the T side. Certainly the least favored of the two. I don't know if did we clarify? I mean, it's clear from the vetoes, but we did move fast. This is a best of 5.
Yeah, we didn't, but it's true.
Yeah.
Best of 5s always make for some fun times. We're going to have a lot of pistol rounds, Vincent. This is only going to be the second of them, the first that we've seen, however, and the Mavericks are going to look to impress if they want to bring themselves even deeper into this wary. Out of that, if you are Scarlet, though, as they've been melted, this B-bomb site is not going to have any more immediate defenders. Retakers actively now on the post plant, but all of them fall down to Hardy, and he's been solid, but how good can you be? 2 pistols, 4 players, no chance, 8 rounds for Maverick. The Mavericks.
For ITE is that even with that lead, the Mavericks plus the pistol round, it's not like they're fully out of this game. Just gonna have to take a save on the chin, likely. Hardy going a little bit deeper. Not too surprising when you consider how impactful he as an individual has been, allowing ITE to get some of these rounds.
Back 10, it's just kind of on a little bit of a mission right now to even figure out what the play from ITE Scarlet is. If they're stacking, if they're pushing. I mean, they've heard a hell of a lot. They've also taken a kill. Being impressed by any of those players on that extremity where they thought that they were going to have the drop on maybe a 1. Well, I mean, they kind of did, but they gave it right back. Maybe this post plant the simplest they'll ever have. Surely these P250s aren't very much and long for this world. Single deagle from Hardy, and yeah, I mean, this one goes as expected. Mavericks, I mean, they're in the driver's seat for this. There's no reason that they should be fumbling. A follow-up round in pistol round, they'd gotten their cash up. The second where they float with MAC-10s for a triple from Kareem, who... Not Kareem, oh, this is going to get annoying, actually. Kareem and Kurimikov. Oh.
Krimikov?
Kurimikov? How about just Makov?
I don't know about that.
All right, well, regardless, one thing I do know, 4-round lead, map number 1, it's got to feel pretty dang good. Also considering I believe this is Scarlet's map pick out of the first 5.
It is indeed. That is true. That's a big opening tool, Tyler. Kurmakov on blast, and basically no way to respond to that at all for the Mavericks. They are too far away for a reasonable trade. Though Tyler trying to give them opportunities at that. Still a late lurk as well in the form of Donut over in mid. Excuse me, that's George, pardon. B-site is the final destination. 3 players there defensively. Solo, though, walks out. George successful in middle. Still got to clear out 2 more players, and, well, that's a great trade. Grimster still alive, or at least he was for moments before he'll go down. The Mavericks get access, and they have a 3-1 advantage. ITE saving might be the best chance for Phantom, but he seems interested.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you, but saving would also kind of be all for naught. It's not like they're going to be able to carry it over again into a gun round. Maybe he just wants to deal some damage on top of what's already been laid down, the foundation of finding the lowest of health players being Kareem or Georgia, and seeing as they already have the first of them, the hold is good, and that being the next. They heard the ramp player. This is an easy fight, you would think, but no. The full stick, full 5, gets off of it, and what a whip from Solo. That can't be around. You lose, and they still might win it just barely by the skin of their teeth.
Dude, what a valiant effort, though, from Phantom. I mean, truly heroic, those efforts that he's going to. Counting their lucky stars that time was a problem for ITE, because, whew, it just about lost that, which should have been near unwinnable if positioned correctly. But hey, close in this case, not really going to matter for much for the ITE side of things, considering they're not flat broke, but pretty darn broke is everybody. Upgrades, sure. Those are going to be possible. I know it says we got to attack here, but I'm pretty sure this is attack. If I'm not mistaken.
No. Attack. Noob.
I know it says that.
They just took attack a second ago as well, so I think they just took 2. That would make sense because the timer.
Also, I'm pretty sure you only have 3 seconds. I think HUD's just like...
Let's find out. Maybe they call one more.
I just think the HUD is CS coded.
CS-goed.
Yeah.
CS-go pilled. It's not a bad thing to be.
Well, whilst we have a moment, maybe can talk about the journey here. ITE besting California State University Long Beach in their quarterfinal matchup. Met up with NCSU Red, who formerly like a very competitive D1 project. They've unfortunately had some players not just move on but graduate as well, which is obviously a huge W, but means that they haven't been as competitive over the last 2 years. So tough team, went to 3 but able to win it. As the Mavericks, they got tested against UGA in the quarters, but UCO Varsity, they dominated them, and that was revenge for their loss, their only loss in the regular season. So pretty cool storyline ended there. For the Mavericks, though, they are ready and rocking towards this grand final, hoping to prove that they can be Team B.
Nice deagle shot post, though. It's not going to be much more if they can't get that AK-47 out from Brokey into the sight lines of the next of those rifles, though, ready. Double down. Kareem having quite hell of a match. It has been the AWP on the CT side. Now the AK starting to enter a flow state on the offensive. Proving to be a bit of a rougher one. You mentioned the... I wouldn't necessarily call it... I wouldn't actually necessarily not call it experience that Kareemakov has, right? Like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, high pug status, enters a circuit of players that also have some pretty serious accolades to them in comparison to many other collegiate team and players. So this is probably an expected result for the side of Mavericks. Like, they probably came into this knowing that they were going to look to difference them, at least in terms of aim style. But I've really seen a whole hell of a lot from Scarlet to make me believe that fundamentally they're going to be able to alter things to make that bit better. But forget fundamentals. Back to the talk of individualistic plays. Phantom's double down. They're going to be regretting swinging him so dry.
Yeah, they are. Now it's a lot on Kurmakov, who doesn't really get anything done there. They're on the defuse already. Easy enough. Even as that flash successful against Rose, they won't be able to survive. They'll get the defuse inside the smoke. User not the one with the kit, funny enough. But hey, ITE, a successful hold, and it's thanks to Phantom more than anyone. I think that the Mavericks making a lot of errors in that. They find the A bomb site entirely wide open, but they don't wait for the utility to pop in CT, so it allows for the CT player to get a couple of shots off before the smoke pops, and then the rotation, Phantom gets back into Temple, and the Mavericks really aren't too worried about that, and probably should have been. So this is a bit of a weird all over the place kind of buy. Kareem forces. George does the same, and what a nade! They get airstriked.
Gonna be the site that still has just enough numbers to potentially overwhelm the Opper already taken down and over. AK-47 being the healthiest, a big bonus, but honestly the farthest away from being able to help any of them, but taking matters into their own hands. A double from outside Tyler. Health to just hold Mouse 1, and it's only Phantom. It was Phantom before. They'll need to do it again. Solo just a little bit paranoid about how close they could have gotten. It's that right side swing, though, that is still being held. Shot is on, knowing that either of these players can go down. Flick on the forehead, and they'd be dead. Oh, it's the defusal, and they've heard them wrapping around into Cave. It's ring around the Rosie, and he's gotten off of it. But again, not enough time. It's absolute nightmare scenarios to go back-to-back, it feels like, on these B-side attempts, but it's deja vu that strikes down 12 for MSU.
Man, the win this half for ITE just feels like fortune that they were able to pluck out a couple of players that Phantom was able to deliver in that moment. Otherwise, it has been heartbreak after heartbreak for the Mavericks. Or rather, excuse me, for ITE, the Mavericks taking advantage of that. Happy to contend with that. Think about the buy there. I mean, it was so disjointed. They had two guns, one Galil, one AK, Mac 10, and then basically everyone else is saving on Tech 9s at best. ITE, they're going to have to forget that. Try to have a short memory. Adjustment, rather. Rose down lower. Wasn't Hardy who hit that shot, but still an effective one, as it gives the Mavericks a little bit of pause.
With that, and you know, maybe they need to be with that as well, because taking things a little slower is something that they're not very used to in this map, but it may be something that they'll encounter in this series, right? It may be something as we get deeper into these maps where they don't actually find themselves as easily, readily, apparently able to go through with just guns a-blazing. Kurmakov looks to change that narrative, perhaps, though, as they get a kill despite being as low as they were. B-site somewhat vacated. They were much more worried about Shelf. I'm not necessarily worried right now. It should still be a conversion. However, this is too much to ask.
Dude, the late lurk, though, is pretty good. Donut's going to be, never mind, not in a great position considering everybody passed through Cave. Great pathing. And that's going to be both George and Kurmakov down. Donut comes too little too late, and the hold is perfect. ITE will get away with that one, giving a lot of space, but paying attention to that space that they had handed over and ensuring that they had a path right back in. Great work. Unfortunately, it's the first of what's going to need to be 6 rounds in a row just to push overtime.
It's a start. It's also not the craziest comeback of all time. Certainly manageable. This round being one that's almost given to you on a silver platter. It's going to be one more gun round that really convinces me. Stage in which sweat begins to formulate on the foreheads, the Mavericks. But the Pistols can also find rounds out of nowhere, honestly. Like, this is a map that definitely has the ability for teams and players to get active with Tech 9s up closer than you may have even realized, and then becomes an issue. Stamped out, though, is that Shelf Molotov via smoke, but also what it'll do is it'll kind of block him off from helping out his mid teammate. He's dedicated himself to that area, and now he's enabled an all-out A-site take.
And love this as well. Solo just getting a little bit further behind, though maybe not so much Donut sprinting so much further forward. Kermikov hoping to lock down somebody on the rotate. He's unsuccessful, but the bomb down is exactly what they wanted, all that was required, and for the investment put in, something that the Mavericks are happy with.
More than a couple of bucks made. Gives them the chance actually to full on buy out here. It would have been a lot worse than I had initially realized, actually, so it's pretty good to have the AKs out and ready, raring to go. We've seen what they're capable of with the time that it's been since the allotted abilities for Phantom to start on Ancient have almost come into full swing. A couple of missed chances and attempts at clutches, but ones that still saw him a lot closer than he had any right in being. So here, warm-up is done. Game is on, and the jig is up for Shelf once more. Hardy dropped off with much better damage, but no way away as he's got no teammate any longer. They get decimated, and this is a problematic pinch. A Phantom hold, and the player that I mentioned, absolute madman, lines up 4. They are in no way ready.
You get 2 kills mid, you don't necessarily expect to see another player donut so quickly, but still, for nobody, not a single person to be ready to fight or have a gun out or anything of the sort, a perfect spray down and lineup for Phantom. It is everything he could ask and more. ITE happy with how they have just found a way to bail themselves out of this nightmare scenario that was 5-on-3. Mavericks, head in hands, wondering how it all went wrong. One answer, Phantom.
Yeah, a lot of damage in mid that he just finishes off too. I mean, when they're just going in a conga, it's so easy for him to get that first player with his knife out, I believe it looked like even. But the rest of them are just, what are they going to do, shoot through their teammates? No, instead they're going to absorb and sponge the damage that's coming straight on in. I like how Phantom plays with his back off the wall as opposed to just letting them enter his domain and territory one after another. He kind of needed to. Obviously, when you're playing up against map point, you need to be a little bit curious, and there goes the 5th kill after the no-hitch ace. Not even a single bullet of damage, let alone Vincent.
That is a statement, if there were to be any. We talked about the Mavericks and their tenacity and resiliency and making a comeback early. Not a big one, right? Down 4-1, as we were highlighting. Well, ITE, they need to do more than that, and they've already made it pretty much just as far as the Mavericks did. Over halfway there. And with the Mavericks' lack of a bomb plant, it'll be another eco, another set of Tech 9s, as they're just going to keep things speedy looking. Drop the smoke under the molly, but Hardy had pushed in so much by getting up onto Shelf. No bomb plant here. It is a clean sweep for Tyler and Hardy. Double digits for ITE.
Here goes nothing. I mean, without a bomb plant and maybe even like guns saved, which is not really something manageable on T side very many a time. Like, I don't know. The loss here would almost just be a sentence to overtime right there, outright. I don't really feel as if there's much of a conversation to be had for the Mavericks if they aren't able to get it over the line at the present moment. As they have isolated some maybe a little bit off-kilter players, I think namely Crimster, who's missed a couple crucial kills that could have gone spiraling if his teammates weren't as on the ball as they are. Up though at that is Cave. Tyler, he's also just started to have a hand in this, come towards the tops of the boards and rejoin his teammates who desperately needed him, and he'll actually even be able to escape that despite there being 2 players on the other side. One was dedicated to the Shelf wrap, if there were to be one, no player in sight, and the other hoping that he was just going to be engaged.
I do really love how the Mavericks don't look at all worried. You know, their posture there in that fight is just really confident. But as much as I enjoy that, I can't fathom how Tyler is just able to get out of that situation. Should have been a trade at minimum. The fact that he gets one and gets out is ridiculous. Rose. Swing wide, and that's another lineup. Big spray down from Rose as they will deliver. Phantom Another one elsewhere, and now the walls close in. Rose's triple kill for ITE gets Scarlet a chance to push to OT.
There's somebody named Donut. Didn't really seem like they understood the whole concept of that position for a second, but no big deal. No big deal so long as you still win the map. As you're 7-20, it's a toughie to look at that range and not be able to really calm that you've been giving it your all. 110, attack timeout taken. Room to discuss what you will be able to put forth here, though, is bits and bobs. Game plans have either been rush up really quick and hope to get the opening pick, or wait a couple seconds, then rush up really quick.
Yeah,
and hope to get them down.
There's been a lack of variety, I fear, in the Mavericks tactical playbook.
I'd love for them to do a little bit more of a solid cave take, frankly.
Yeah, I personally, I'm in for anything that has a little bit more legs than, you know, the first 15 seconds of the round. That's where the plan kind of seems like it ends for now, and you know, from that point on, it's taking it based on where the action happens and whether or not they were successful.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can also just snap your fingers and you go on a winning or losing streak. I mean, just look at that first half as an example. A reminder, the 5-1 turned 7-5 half. Like, these things happen. I don't know if it's maybe discovering the sweet spot in the formula, or if it's happenstance, whatever the case may be. Fate, some believe in it. I'm not so sure right this second. But if anything is for sure, it looks like that Scarlet have fated themselves for a victory. But Crimster, again, the one to miss. Can't continue to whiff it. His teammates, again, picking up the slack, though. That's 3 shots off. There is a plant to be had along this wall. Shouldn't be stopped. What are you to do after this? Getting Kareem and Op's a good start.
Massive, but that next step is taken to Donut. They've done exactly that. 2 players for ITE, and it had that direction. Big shot from Kareem. One more there, and it's Tyler. It's Hardy on the other side. Donut getting mollied out. There's Kareem activating. But now, not going to need more than that. Kareem, the solo remaining member, on for the quad. Flash successful. He'll jump out of the way. Not sticked by Phantom, but he'll stick on the shot, and it's overtime. Sealed up for ITE. A beautiful comeback.
Nerves maybe from Kareem there. They did so well to be cautious, calm, and killing every player, honestly, that they needed to. But that last one, the flash goes over. The tap is only just then heard. He could have waited a second and a half if he needed to, jiggled if he wanted to. The time is low enough to where, frankly, I feel like that's the better bet. But, you know, this time, third time, as far as I'm aware, is the charm for Phantom when it comes down to sticking bombs on defusal. He's got that one with enough time, and it will matter more than maybe any of the others because the clock is reset, and so too is the slate.
Well, it's a huge fumble for MSU. They had this sealed up, really. This was their map. Now might be stolen back. ITE, they picked it. They might get it in totality. Kareem opening pick, and rare to see those lately solo. Another one, and out of bullets is Hardy, so Karimikov will be easy to grab another one. A beautiful adjustment up to the shelf, as that's a difficult adjustment to make. Phantom, last man standing, but surely not like this. But that might give them an opportunity, a leg in. But this pathing, I feel like, is actually just the end of it.
I don't remember the last time that we saw Scarlet actually give that much of a look down in mid. And maybe for the better they haven't done it, because that was one of the more decisive rounds we've caught on any of that last half in regulation, as well as this new beginning. I think I kind of liked it a little bit more when they were openly enabling the Mavericks to take whatever space they wanted and being ready for whatever came after that, right?
Well, they did it a lot early into the half, and obviously it's not a lot of success.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'm in agreement there. Grabbing one on
Maybe
the
they thought
exit.
after long enough not doing it, I guess, it would make sense to bring it in.
As an adjustment. Also, now there's not so much risk. Remember, they were sitting up against a 6-round deficit with MFU on map point. They couldn't take risks before, but now with a overtime prospect, they have that ability.
Mid, it's Hardy. He's just flying down and through. There's a smoke on either edge of him. And yeah, again, this is just a lot more of the same, I feel like, from ITE that's getting a bit of a predictable parry kind of style to it where they're being read pretty well. Last time, maybe it was the unexpected, but I mean, it's something in which the Mavericks have been going for regardless. So it's nothing that they weren't going to have been prepped for regardless of whether or not you've conditioned them to believe so or not. Oh, they're a main player, not the Opper, not Crimster. This time Phantom, typically Donut, is going to be still standing all tall enough for first of these kills, but nobody else able to get in. Just spawn plant and alert from Karimikov.
I mean, it feels absurd, to be honest, that Tyler is still that deep into the B-bomb site, but it's going to pay off this time. Crimster, nice shot, and a second adjustment. A guy that we haven't really seen deliver in that way until now. Down onto the site, never mind. Solo nails it. A brilliant trade. Not typically the AWP player for the Mavericks, but he's doing well with it when asked to deliver. Nice work for Solo. In overtime, the Mavericks seem to have their mojo back.
Those were kills number 7 and 8 for Crimster, Vincent. That might be the first multi-kill he's had all map, and we're entering overtime half number 2 about. So, I don't know. That's not only a really bad omen considering that he gets those 2 kills and they still lose, but also the fact that I don't really foresee him getting very many more opportunities to do so. But maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe I will eat my words. Ream's up. He's going to have his chance as well.
Well, he was going to have a chance. Flash successful, and Tyler shuts him down. Tag team for Rose, as that's the mid player taken out. So no space in mid. 3 Mavericks still standing, but they're all over here on B. No map control whatsoever. Taking a flash up. Good news for Hardy is nobody is available to be seen. The swing, though, from Kermikov changes that, and it is a brilliant headshot.
Gonna need a good number more of those, though. 1 is a gimmick. 2 to 5, and now we're talking. Only now just sliding out closer and closer to cave, potentially mid, but the bomb not budging, so they haven't fully committed to any one thing. It's now, though, that Solo will have a good timing to get himself through, but that smoke stalls out everybody else at the ramp, so problematic as they then need to pause. They have nades they can throw otherwise, but they're just being a little bit suffocated. As Rose, that kill is probably the deal sealer. I feel as if Solo is going to have too much on his plate, and if Karimikov doesn't get to his aid at once, this might just be dead in the water, and indeed it is. They'll get that frag. They'll get over to A, actually, though, but their health can't surely even matter.
And they won't get there in time unless it's a shot for Crimster. Won't miss the second time. Time of the essence, but he plays perfection just to delay enough, and it's the gun of Phantom comes arriving. Mavericks claim 2 rounds on the T side. Seemed so easy once we were in overtime, but unfortunately, if they had just been able to claim 1 of those, would have been a whole different story. Would have been map over. Time to see if ITE's T side can deliver the goods. It's come back very impressive. Don't get me wrong, but best of 5s, they more than anything often are about stamina. Can't afford to go deep and then lose. That is a painful situation. ITE, they need this now. It's a nice opening duel, a headshot even. On the Solo, there is nothing left in middle. With the Mavericks placing Kareem back in red room as the smoke will start to fade.
Hopper and Kareem, oh, just under adjusted. Looked like he was just about there. Tough one to forfeit, but someone's going to need to pick up the slack somewhere else. The in-betweeners of both A and B will reconvene, but maybe too little too late, as everything else is feeling as if there's been a strain put atop of it. Crimster will be dropped. Regularity now that they get themselves this much of an advantage, ITE, and drop it. Only ever happened once a time, and that defuse that had gone through from Phantom was short-lived. As even he was able to pull himself over the line, but now retake is still on. It's OT, no reason not to go for it at this moment, and as soon as they do, they're immediately shut out. We're tied back up, and there's no guessing where this one may end, Vincent. I'm still not convinced.
No, I'm certainly not. No question. An uncertainty clear when ITE finding that type of success over in middle. Great work from Hardy. Missed shots from Kareem, who's been the most consistent and the most reliable fragging piece for the Mavericks. ITE, this game could be theirs. We need 2 more rounds to make that happen. Rifles for MSU. High-low there, middle, towards shelf, but won't commit to that entirely. Pretty risky, considering this B site quite a bit understaffed if it were to go now. ITE just going to play a little bit more patient, something that Mavericks barely were capable of, it seemed, on their T side.
Capabilities called into question for both here and there. But only now can someone rise above. On the precipice of 30 kills are both Hardy and Kareem. 2 different sides of this thing, though. Kareem awaits Cave and drops a smoke in anticipation for them to come through one way or another. It will be a time waster, a spender, because they do have another smoke on Kareemikov, may it also be known. So this could get timely. This could get costly for them if they aren't prepared. A spam, I believe, actually even hitting them on the site. But they've got A they can resort to, and they've just started to rotate. They don't even hear them. Oh, no, it's too little. Don't fight back into this one alone. They think better of it. It could have been a round ender if they'd given their life on a silver platter. Solo, maybe to do it anyway. Maybe to walk in. They hear the bomb planted. Damage in the outside of Temple. On the outskirts, what is that? Shot from Solo, the last of them through the box to connect. The ball kills. It's that one, haphazardly. Walking, 8 out in hand. Something needs to change because there's too much damage from these CTs not being inflicted, and there's too many players in one choke point being melted. This round is done unless Kareemikov has something to say about it.
Got a smoke. He's got a kit. There's options here. Gonna use that smoke. Just stick on the defuse seems a little bit wild considering the tools that were at his disposal. Certainly time not on his side, and it's ITE Scarlet who will take the first stab of this map at a victory. The question is, can they pull it off? The Mavericks, with 6 opportunities, all of those flying by the wayside, unopposed. ITE, their one chance, can they take it? We will be seeing a second time.
Knows nothing. Tagged is Kareem. Not sure how, but it wasn't from Crimster. They're stationed at B ramp. Cave slowed and controlled. First time in a long time, it feels like. Mavericks are going to like it that way. So long as they aren't taking on any additional unnecessary deaths or damages. As mid and the whole linear line they have from the bottom ends of B over to elbow are theirs to control and say that they have. The next step forward, though, will need to be one with pairings. It will need to be expertly procured as that Molotov flushes the first of those. There is another if they'd like. They swing in front of it, and again, the spacing isn't great. Hardy gets the kill behind him. No, excuse me, he was on a different site altogether. He was trying to work them over towards the bottom ends of this B mid. Position is everybody else ready to sprint, but they've got 50. They don't need to. They can go back to their sweet spot. That being A.
Yeah, how often the Mavericks are just getting caught over-rotating, and in this case, I mean, reacting. It's just a little bit too crazy for me. Bomb about to be planted. Hardy defends it. George and Solo, they need everything. They need to do this just to push through into second overtime. It could be map 1 in ITE's favor. Solo creeping on forward. Back to back here with George. It is a brutal spray, and Hardy and Rose will shut it down. What a comeback from ITE. The word resiliency is one I used early, and it will be applying late as ITE Scarlet find a victory out of the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a little bit of that from both of these teams, frankly. So, I mean, it was obviously one that you look at the scoreline and you would think that there's something going as far as a back and forth is concerned. But even in the rounds that we weren't here for in regulation, were they doing that? It was one of those where they had gone and we looked at the scoreline from a 5-1, the 5-5 tie. They continue their way on, even with a pistol round victory and conversions into the second half, to where it was never really a question for me at that point as to whose game it was to lose. That changes narrative 2 times over by the time we finish Ancient. So I'm not really sure where I stand as far as any of the further maps go in this series, because Ancient had me on a damn roller coaster.
It felt like it was at times unlosable there for the Mavericks, to be honest with you. Just, find one of these rounds, find a way to win in these situations. And they, I think, got themselves in a situation where they didn't have a next step, where they struggled to find a call that wasn't something insanely quick. It wasn't too fast, and honest and truthfully, just had a little bit more depth to it. Felt like in their minds, they deserved to find that win, and it would get there eventually. Unfortunately, that mindset, it brought them to the brink, and unfortunately, they fell over the edge. So a big victory there for ITE Scarlet. A huge upset, not just because of the map or anything, or their expectations to win in this best of 3, but from where they were. And with, potentially 4 more maps to go, that is a huge statement to start this whole thing.
Potentially 4 more maps to go, but Vincent, a guaranteed 2, the next of which being Dust. That one is where we will be jumping on to next, and I'm excited to see what these guys have to offer, given there was a little bit of this and a little bit of that from map number 1, but maybe some familiar shooters, as we are going to be throwing it to a break. We will return with that second map in just a bit.
Our lips fit well, and I don't have expectations, but when I daydream of us, and our hands melt. But if I did all alone, and I don't have wishes, our lips fit well, and I don't have expectations, but when I daydream of us, and our hands melt.
Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to move. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months that I can't seem to.
You'll still have common days. Put off your term papers till the last minute. Eat cold pizza right out of the fridge. Update your fantasy roster. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life. You'll still have common days. Put off.
Well, hello and welcome back, where we just watched ITE Scarlet mount a impressive comeback. And listen, the Mavericks, they're gonna have to recover from that, because to be honest with you, it is a brutal mentality shift to think you've got map 1 sealed up and then it's gone in an instant.
Yeah, I would say that one was like pretty close to wraps for you and I. I was definitely in the mindset as well that the camp had already closed it, but we go into Dust 2. We have to reset ourselves, and I don't mean to be that guy, but there were 2 players, one per team, being Donut and Crimster, who were having a real struggle bus of it throughout that entire map.
Yeah, listen, I think shout out Crimster, who actually really stepped up actually in the end of regulation and overtime. 3 different rounds where it was very impressive multi-kills, like two kills, 2 important kills to seal up rounds. So, you know, certainly a bit of a turnaround there for ITE, but for Donut, for the Mavericks, yeah, needed to be a little bit better. Flash out long. There's one more of those, a smoke as well to be had. The Mavericks, their struggles with taking time and letting this game play out a little bit deeper on the T side was an issue. Tyler, +1, is back for more, doesn't want to stick around too long. It's the dualies for Hardy. Look to come flying through that smoke, won't commit to that. Tyler down, Solo follows with another. So Crimster, no longer an impact into this first pistol. Dust 2. Nice shot from Hardy. The adjustment for Phantom, and it's just 2 men standing for the Mavericks. They are in trouble. They need to buy some time. Kareem doing just that. Hardy swing. And it's Kermakov that is got this bomb planted for him, but doesn't have any health to play with. Hardy insane. Like, that instant dink with the dualies at that range is incredible.
That's going to leave a mark. ITE Scarlet off to the races. And who else but Hardy to be at the forefront of that? Frankly, that's the one that I had the very least amount of worries of throughout this entire Ancient that we had witnessed. The Mavericks map choice starting on the back foot in more ways than one, but a buy with very little fear, which I do respect, or at least it looked like it was to be one. I would have actually been down for that, to be honest with you. A little hero AK moment. Okay, wait a minute, what? Was that a collateral?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They were close, and how did that even happen? Wait, what? I've been told it was not.
How?
He got the guy crossing, and then the second guy swung.
I suppose. timing of that must have just been like him just clicking literally instantly after his scope. I don't think that's feasibly even possible for that to have happened.
Foul?
Yeah, I guess he did. I guess he
Foul?
got the guy on the flick for the first, and the other guy he just kind of instantly repeaked.
We've done it. That should be
That'll
round
do.
over.
Should still be an attempt, maybe? No, I guess not. They're really afraid of what they have. It's not like they could have gotten any of their rifles, though, Vincent, but now they can.
I mean, they could have had, like, MAC-10s. Certainly favorable weapons on that B site. But I'm with you. Probably was potentially worth the attempted retake. They will, at minimum, clear out everybody on the exit. But the Mavericks are happy. They got money.
Money, money, money.
Rare to see just a double on a scout at the very beginning of the round be the round winning play.
Why is that weird, hmm?
One scout they bought, because I'm a scout hater and I'm actually lobbying for the scout to get nerfed.
Nerfed?
Yeah. I don't know. I just like do something out there.
5 bullets instead of 10. We're just gonna do it to the op, or do what they did to the op now.
Yeah, and actually you only get 1 mag.
Cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making things up that make you angry. I'll be honest.
Well, it's working. Keep it up.
All right. Actually, I won't. That's not nice, and I've decided I'm not a mean guy.
It's not nice. Don't say that. We have that was an Invincible reference for people who don't know, but we got ourselves AKs that are going to be making a mockery of all these A-sided players, even without flashbangs or nades. Honestly, they went in pretty dry. Not a great omen for the defense moving forwards, but they themselves didn't really have a whole lot that they could do to try and stave them off.
Yeah, this is definitely a save what you got angle. That is. I wish I could do a little comparative head-to-head for you, but I do have some stats for the Mavericks.
Okay.
They have played Dust 2 4 times
Ever?
over the course of this season.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually went back and looked at every single map they've ever played as ever individually.
They've only touched this map 4 times. This map's been in the pool for 20 years. Longer.
They've only picked it the 1 time out of those 4. They did win all 4 times. Normally, I would be able to give you the head-to-head though, but we did this little pivot last minute, and I just adjusted my stats that I had for the Mavericks quarterfinal game. So apologies for the ITE Scarlet fans. I'm sorry. Point being, Mavericks certainly have favored this Dust 2, have been good on it, have showed quality here. Long take.
I was gonna say that nade is gonna be a banger. Kareem? Wait a minute. Kareem hit with the rock? That's crazy. Basketball comes to him. It's passed, but he didn't really want it. It's okay though. It'll still be fine.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question, and please don't laugh.
Yeah.
All right, so can you call a basketball the rock? Is that? I thought that was just an NFL thing, because I don't know anything about basketball.
I think it's predominantly a basketball thing.
Okay, which it may be. Like I said, I don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah.
I just know of this in the football context.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know it was. I've never heard it in football, actually.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
All right. I've
Oh,
learned
okay.
something new.
All right. Interesting. I just Googled it, and it says that some people think it's exclusively for one or the other. But, like, well, let me say some people think, but it is predominantly basketball. But some people also share that opinion with you.
No, it was not an opinion.
I didn't
it was
know
a
that.
lack of knowledge on my behalf.
Dude, it's okay. It happens. But, you know, either way, it doesn't really ultimately come to matter that insane amount of damage that was inflicted, because the players he had weren't really in place to do anything of it. You were actually highlighting before I had so rudely cut you off that there was a long play going on from the CT side, but what was that to really matter all that late into the game? They wanted B, they got it.
Yeah, on
I'd say
Nico though,
2020.
you know, at least ITE trying to do something there that could amount to something, even though it didn't in this context, in this case.
Yeah, I guess my point was more so that I wish there was a little more coordination in that. But
Speaking of things I wish there was a little bit more coordination for, that swing from Tyler. Goes searching, goes fighting. Nobody's close. Nobody's even in the same vicinity. And so ITE will just go 1 for 1, which is going to put this B site under the threat. Phantom. Here. Window. First fight is successful, but access through trades for the Mavericks on B.
see a smoke and an incendiary from Crimster, so if, okay, I was going to say if there's any sort of lineup we can get going right now, that'd be cool. That one's not terrible. It actually does burn out what would be the backside of the big box in the center of it all. Already up and over, no flash to support him, not yet. He's the one who holds it, actually, so if he were to be the one to go through, it's going to need to be a little bit more dry than he would probably like. Crimster gets his, Hardy is exposed, he doesn't die, he actually gets his, and then some. Damage up, bomb not there. I don't think he's got the time, even if he were to stick one time in the back, he'll be a done and dead man. 4 rounds for MSU, this is looking pretty good, and what the hell is this B kryptonite I've been noticing?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, I don't want
Mid-kryptonite, more accurately, I guess.
Yeah,
Mid-B.
that's what I was going to say. In that case, I really don't think it's about the B site not being capable of putting up a defense. Phantom did all that he reasonably could, getting a 1-for-1 there with so many responsibilities, but it was what I was highlighting before, where Tyler goes out fighting. He's playing well, feeling confident, but that has unfortunately been his downfall in that case. So, goes back, tries it again, but it is a similar result. Cat, everybody's here. It's a big old party.
Well, they were there, and now they're not. They quickly get met by the bouncer in Kareem. Sends him home. No.
What was the reading? What was the reasoning? They don't like the cut of
Fake
the jib or
IDs.
whatever? Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
They thought they were CTs. They tried to make him believe, so they're like, let us into your bomb site. Come on. Nothing bad will happen.
Oh, wait. That's an awesome idea for, like...
A little skit.
Yeah. For a Pro League skit, that's a good one.
When I go to Pro League, I'll pitch that.
All right. Cool, dude. You gotta have a credit idea by Vincent Cass.
It was my idea.
Nope. I have video and audio proof right now.
You don't. I came up with the idea. What? Cast the round. You got me mad.
Me just making things up to make you angry. Urmakov tagged by Nade there, but still going to be doing just fine. Crimster not confident in the one angle. Adjust for another. Long player there in Kareem. Tyler responsible for that. Smoke dropped. Support of the rifler is big. And under the minute mark for the Mavericks, this is a lot of what we didn't see back on Ancient. A little bit of slower, more methodical round. One that at least is reasonable. I think they need to be applying a little bit more pressure, though, across the map currently. They're going to start doing that, but with 30 seconds, it is not a lot of time.
30 seconds is a long time in Counter-Strike terms, Vincent, so don't get your hopes too down in the dumps just yet. That AWP is going to be what looks to stop them, though, and this is better than we've seen from Crimster in quite some time. Some over-adjustments, though, so it's inconsistent as ever, but 15 seconds is an entirely different story. You cut in half what I thought was definitely doable, and they get cut in half by Crimster in one way, shape, or form. A couple of misses will be made up for by a couple of hits.
I'm left feeling really frustrated by the lack of an actual execute there for MSU. You know, they have all the utility. They want to go out A. All good. But where's the second smoke? They had 4 or 5 flashes, if I'm not mistaken. They had a couple, and they were either ineffective or not deployed in such a way that made sense. So, what could have been a fantastic opportunity to just flash Crimster off the angle, catch him off guard, means that he's able to just re-swing and re-swing again for a triple kill. Not great.
No. Johnson now, though. We've got, okay, I was going to say a mid-smoke that should allow them to cross, but I think there's a major gap, if I'm not mistaken, that Phantom was just abusing, but he doesn't want to go peeking over it. No, actually, it will be replenished. Okay. Yeah, we switched to that POV, and I thought it was just poop. But it's all good. That'd be the greatest of all mishaps and misfortunes and misplays of this map if we didn't know how to throw a correct mid-door smoke. So thankfully that is not the case.
Also, you can low-key just kind of like toss it in there after time and it'll be fine.
Nah, because then you can just tap over the top of it and see cat.
Well, compared to what
is that why we're losing off on Dust 2?
Yeah, probably. Flash to get George a little bit of info. He maybe finds a bit more than he was intending to. Down to 6 HP. I'm thinking about placing a molly. Would have been well placed onto Phantom. Ultimately not going to do that. That's probably his demise. Never mind. He stuffs the scope down his throat, and there's more where that came from. Party jumping. And for what purpose? Doesn't get anything there. Donut trading onto the site. George getting back onto the site proper, and ITE arriving too little too late. 2v4.
Gonna start to feel a little bit closed out. This regularly, you're going to lose on what feels like the same execution, sub being whether or not you just walk in towards B or flood up through cat. Cat one, you handled that well enough, so I guess you can check that off your box, but there's just so much more to this than that. So much more that they should be capable of. Crimster left tucking will be able to get that sniper rifle more likely than not carried over. It's closer to them, though, as he enters their domain. He will be unable to get towards anywhere other than long doors once again, so thankfully for his sake, hits his shot, gets out of dodge, makes a little bit of extra money for him and his friends, and there likely will be an investment, but a timeout taken to try and brain that up before just going all in.
Kareem, who I think dropped off a little bit at the end of that Ancient, but you see how and why he was such a powerhouse to get them to such a monumental advantage. Moves like that where he's just walking out mid-door. It's such an unfavorable fight when he's got the scope in hand, even with a close right door angle, and he still wins it. Plus a second onto Hardy, believe it or not. ITE taking attack. As the CT side is certainly struggling.
Not a doubt in my mind, though, that this is more of what we were kind of wanting from the T side last map from Mavericks, right? So I'd say that they've really connected phases 1 and 2. I think that the problem that you were running into on the round that they lost and some that have gotten a little bit closer is where the final stages are actually a little bit more dry than we would have wanted, right? But
yeah,
doesn't feel like they're throwing caution to the wind in actually getting over their initial map control, because once they do so, it feels like there is actually an end goal. It's just, I guess, how they get to said end goal is where maybe we'll have some questions of head scratches later on, but this gun round could be the change to that.
Actually, funny enough, the fact that their end goal is always mid to B is becoming relatively clear. It's the A site where they had some of those struggles.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, that was the pistol round in the A pop that I was taking issue with. It looks like they're going to go back to that well. Right again.
Can't quite tell what the support plan is for the player in the pit. I don't think they have very much utility to help out. That Opera online, that's pretty good, because if they do want to kill him, they're going to need to show themselves in some way, shape, or form. But Crimster's inconsistencies have been a worry to me. Phantom, though, not even in the closest, or I've been worried about them for more than a couple of rounds here. But that one will be only a singular, and everything comes collapsing around it.
Oh, and there's just not enough that Crimster can do. Gets his one. Kermikov, great adjustment to pick off Rose on the rotate back through CT. Tyler. I love the way he's playing around that molly, but unfortunately him sticking around means that he eats a nade. Kermakov is low. Wider swing would be successful. Won't be prepared for the second man on Cat. Solo's reposition nearly is his undoing, but he's all good. 7 rounds is a successful A site hit. Finally does come flying through, and that one a little bit more non-traditional. It's not so much the Cat exec, but a long take late into the second phase of the hit being the Cat side, which, you know, quite effective, if not the usual way to approach it.
Another time to try and pull the ship to shore, pull themselves together. Don't quite have very many clear answers, but I feel as if we're kind of nearing the territory of just them throwing caution to the wind as a group, which may even be better than the alternative of what's been going on so far. I can't even really make heads or tails of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to place my finger on exactly what's going so wrong here for ITE. Because, honest and truthfully, Tony, I feel like they are mostly just getting beat by this slow game where MSU are taking space, ITE rarely fighting for that space, only doing that on eco rounds, and then at some point, ITE usually needs to try and make some sort of information play, and that's what's getting punished.
I want to see if they just station their players all the way over at B once again. A little more of that. If it becomes like a 2D demo review where you just see them doing it over and over again, you're going to be like, guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of want to see on the next gun round, ITE take Cat and lower.
I'm down for it.
I think that could be a good swap up. We'll see if they find that move or if they've got something up. This one's an eco, though. So not too worried for the Mavericks. Won't be anything but stellar. See what I saw?
No.
All good. No worries.
No notes.
No notes.
Not gonna put anything past Krymakov anymore. I don't believe.
I'm not gonna put anyone on blast.
Nope. I think he's just got, what's the word? Plot armor.
True. Maybe.
I think these kinds of scenarios have almost fallen into his lap. I've actually seen a couple of those moments in the last map, but I didn't want to make note of it. But if you want to, you can.
That's not what I was talking about. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Not quite it. All right, he's gonna go down. This AK likely to save while Grimster sends it in.
Waits for his dang life.
Right, this AK is here. Very viable now.
Oh.
Great shot from Grimster.
Smoke on bomb.
Guys down. This nade, it's got to be deep enough, and it is. Just barely for Kareem. A wonderful shot to close that down. But remember the thing I said at the beginning of this round? Yeah, I'm not too worried about the outcome. The Mavericks only working against Eagles. They'll be fine. Yeah, I was wrong. That guy from before, that guy's a bozo. Let him in here.
I'm not sure. Hop on, Kareem. Scout will have done well enough earlier on, but this time no quick kill nor damage. Should have been communicated that 2 players have made their move. Deep incendiary, players up behind it, and they are ready, guns out in hand. A major number of them too. Phantom, speaking of 2, he gets a pair, a third even as his body of his teammate is used, and he's again gotten out of these without any damage on him? And they still might lose.
Yeah, the reaction's fast. Bomb still up or move for Kareem being made. It needs to be this rifle. It is required for Kermakov to hit this shot. Now spotted him. Commitment to the fight. And it's a big win as Kermakov actually pivots back to fight towards CT for another kill. Bomb recovered. Rose flying in, or rather slowly pathing up through the tunnels for this 1v2 clutch attempt. Craziness is that Phantom did not win them this round. It's up to Rose now.
All right, yeah, I mean, I have some choice words after this if they can't get it over, and they simply don't, and frankly, that is abysmal. That is unacceptable from ITE. They are just unaware of everything going on around them. He gets 3 kills, and they think it's just a said and done deal that the other 2 were, I guess, on the site as well. Wrong. You're completely caught off guard. Your transitions aren't there. Phantom's still alive and should be feeding you that information. He's got full health, and he should be giving you that information that he's going to be able to hold his ground. But they get plucked apart from mid, they get plucked apart from mid again, and then they get plucked apart from mid again. And it doesn't make any sense to me as to where the heads of these players are at right now. Being a map up, where have they gone?
Into the coffin. Kermikov put him there, and he keeps on doing it. 18th frag locked in right then and there. 4 on 3. Rose trying to get a little tricky, flying through that smoke in upper tunnel. Bomb's still long here. I'm a little concerned about how split this is. Kermikov's gonna go down. Bomb now solo. Wrong choice of word. Alone. It's solo. Who's over on B. The bomb's getting there, but this still quite fumbleable. Scout for Crimster, not an ideal weapon. Maybe I speak too soon. Nice shot. We might have more where that came from.
Got ourselves a much more reasonable retake for B now. Maybe the most takeable bomb site we see. He shoots the dead body. He's leaning up. Crimster thinks he's alive. He's in fact dead, but whoa, they don't know where Phantom's at. He is ethereal as he escapes the lines of the both of them. So I guess so long as Crimster runs distraction, that will be enough for at least a third, but that was an embarrassing one caught on stream, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. All good. I don't know if it's all good for ITE, because the fact that it takes just a ridiculous overperformance there from Phantom to even get them to that point needs a 1v2 clutch. And Crimster, who's actually looked, amongst the best here for ITE. Unfortunately, not saying much considering their struggles on the scoreboard. But it takes those guys doing more than their share of the lifting just to get 3. The Mavericks now on the CT side. I'm not loving it. ITE, they've been down before.
Certainly have, but they are up cat. They are on the swing. I'm surprised that they get 1 kill there, George. That is a wicked one on the fadeaway, and still there are more players and teammates that can help him out in his endeavors. They've stalled and stopped the cat split. No more nades that are being thrown. There is one in the pocket of Tyler, but that's the exit point that they could now double on back towards B from, and that's big because there is no additional anchor in that area. This is going to be a free B plan, and that nade will come in handy. Or is that a flashbang? It looks a little small.
Well, it's a flash. Success acquired. Flank ongoing. It is Kermikov to be moving that direction. There's that flash. By a little bit of time. Phantom up in the face of the window player, Tyler. It's the door player to go down first. Kermikov comes in, and it is solo to close in, catch ITE off guard. MSU, despite their lack of kit, easily have enough time. More than that. The Mavericks will claim 2 pistols. No, excuse me. They didn't get the first half pistol, despite winning 9 rounds on it.
Yeah, if you'll remember back, even though it feels like a distant memory, the double scout in the second round.
Yup.
That is...
You're probably going to say that, and that's why you buy a scout or something silly.
Well, that's why you should buy a scout right now if you are ITE.
True, actually, you're right. Do it.
Okay,
wait,
converted.
No,
that was
wait,
easy. You
no,
folded so easy.
No, hold on, wait. Low key.
Under no pressure.
Low key, you saved this. Ironic. Buy here is risky just because you potentially just get no buy rounds on the T side if you.
Vincent, it's 3-10.
Yeah. And
I think the risk is not buying.
And our gun rounds are great. We haven't gotten any of them on the T side.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, play it from 11-3 and then win every round from there on, please.
Bro,
I think that
on
might
the
be a
first
better
map.
idea. It might be a better idea.
They did that 12-6 or 5.
Yeah, I don't think that that's something that you should be like, you already did it once. You could do it every Counter-Strike game you've ever played from here on out.
I don't lock in until I'm down at least 5 rounds.
Vincent, you don't lock in.
I said at least.
Oh gosh.
Not wrong, dude. The two-man army though that has been the Mavericks is, it's hard for me to say somewhat concerning because it is concerning, but also they're up 10-3. So, but 20-8 for Kermikov and 15-8 for Kareem. And no one else is really in the same ballpark. I mean, Solo, somewhat. But it is a two-man show right now for the Mavericks.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't really matter that you're 3-10 if you're George R right now, so long as that's happening. But, you know, I think pretty regularly and periodically on that last map, that was not true. There were too many players on the bottom sides of the board, or not even too many, but too far away with the game being as close as it was, where there would be any escape from criticism. Because on the other end of things, on the losing team, I mean, there's not really any player on the bottom that's really blowing me away and making me extraordinarily upset in any way. So it's kind of a team effort being differenced by the Mavericks from top to bottom. Well, from top to middle.
Middle to bottom.
No. Middle to bottom is, well, it is very different, I will say, sure. You're inherently wrong there.
If IT, who have, by the way, elected, say.
Oh, they can be the masters of their own fate, I suppose. They choose. They also must sleep in the bed that they've made. There goes the walk up closer to where on pistols that was really not that big of a deal for George, but on a rifle is the only one on the site. That's kind of ugly, actually. That is not a well-operated cat position to play on, but Kurymakov may be able to rectify things if he can find himself a couple headies.
Well, might not need that. Solo comes in from Cat, and there's Kurymakov. The bomb plant, though, is a pretty big asset for ITE. It's going to mean that this purchase is well funded. Extra dollars. And ultimately, they do put their money on these gun rounds. See if it was a silly prospect or not. You get their chance to level up. Really a bonus here for the Mavericks. They have any additional SMGs or whatnot.
So it looks like we are going to be operating on the idea that it's going to have to be win out. Feels like from ITE from here on, there's no doubt about that. It's going to be the entire squadron putting up the best of their ability, the numbers that are needed. This best of 5, we're already on map number 2. It looks like we are going to be splitting this one down the middle unless a Herculean affair can come over once more. I mean, it would be crazy to see that story told twice. The sequel to Ancient. And here goes that trade out almost on the split second in which they had both found those kills, though. There will be no explosion. Going to be sitting, waiting, relaxed, ensuring that their next move doesn't really seem all too choreographed to the Mavericks. And I think they've done a decent job of that. Kill there from Crimster may change it all. We've gone out through long as well. So now the running shoes are on. One trade is all they need.
All right, there it is. Easy peasy. least that's what they're telling themselves. Simple and quick. George coming in from middle. Got Donut. On through tunnel. Smoke up. He getting ready to fade soon. He's going to give away his position via the smoke on the lurk. And that's essentially the round dead. Unless you can't afford to move in. Look in their face. They do have extra money, so these saves especially facilitate buying next round. And it's a good round from ITE. Talking about their, the impact of putting money down on these guns and ensuring that they can get the most out of them. This is a solid victory. Good trade fragging. Mid to B. Honestly, feels like the exact recipe for success that the Mavericks were dealing with on their team.
A taste of their own medicine, you say? I'm in for that. I like it. See if they have the answers that their opponents failed to put forth. It would be awful convenient they were able to bring us to that overtime based on a similar storyline. As out they'll go in mid. The smoke is open a split second after they've already crossed the right side, though. There will be no chance for the op unless it takes a shot in the dark to try and make itself a threat lingering and looming. So do they take themselves elsewhere with that information? The answer is no. They're going to pivot. They'll hold their ground in case they go through into his frontside scope, in which they do once it's faded off. And he can just now, I mean, of course, 5 versus 4. Why stick in that position when there's a likelihood that they're going to be running you through?
No reason, no need. Well, now the first contact back over towards B. That's made. There's no significant damage done in the process. How long? Relatively for free is Tyler. Jiggle for George that's looking for information over there. 50 seconds. Bomb to join. We're in Tyler. Neck of the woods. Great shot. Rose. That's a way to get active. First kill over here on the A site. And reinforcements not going to arrive in time.
Oh, not quite. Okay, so the upswing is here. We're witnessing a bit of a return. It'll take a hell of a lot more, but it's a start. That's now gone consecutive. If they can manage to get these guns away, that'd be great, but it doesn't really feel like the responsible decision to make to go looking for them. They themselves are actually running into some money troubles that, of course, I mean, this game isn't very much longer going should they even lose one round out, though. So maybe just take that into the consideration before taking what I say as a certainty. And I think they've done just that because they're willing to throw caution to the wind so long as it means that their opponents are as broke for as long as they can be.
Yeah, at this point, they also have enough money where it isn't irrelevant, but I think worth the risk. Mavericks. Yeah, on the other hand, flat broke. No money, no nothing. Just have the Kareem saved AK, and to be fair, not many a better hand than his. Armakav the only that stands above. And blocking the smoke, and there we go. A little bit of vision over the top of it, though. That is not going to net him much because he is not anyone on screen yet.
There's a Desert Eagle that's rounding the corner and may be able to find substantial damage, maybe even the kill. Not sure how they've managed to get all this way out and away, but no additional shots to land. Rose handles it. A game where Kareem is going to have to be one to put them over the line, is in, I wouldn't say the best position, but the best position of any of these players to maybe get some heads torn off. Solo's waiting for that contact in order to initiate his plan in action. Player elevated, and that's an easier target, but Kareem can't quite kill him, and that makes everybody else's life just a little bit too difficult.
There barely any damage, barely anything at all going for Mavericks in this one. Perfect from ITE. And, Tony, I'm starting to feel in the back of my head that ITE might just have a chance to do this thing.
I wouldn't say, no, I guess I would say this. You weren't a believer of the comeback last map. I remember pretty
No.
distinctly you saying about 12-7 that there are still 6 rounds and that it's going to be a little bit too much, you believe. And, you know, every now and again, I'll be a contrarian just for the sake of doing it. I think you also are someone who's done this before for the sake of a good broadcast, and of course, but I think this time I'm going to say that I feel like it's off. I think that it's going to be just a matter of accidenting your way into a round win at some point for the Mavericks. And I would have said the same for the last, but I didn't really have an opinion. I kind of just sat on the fence. But this time, I'm going to take a stand and say that the Mavericks should have this one under lock and key, even if this round isn't the one.
Yeah, I was where you were last map. That's how I felt. I was wrong. Bitten. So that's what gives me the faith in the ITE comeback. But as you're highlighting, there's still a very long way to move forward on this. It's a nice trade from Hardy, but it still leaves the Mavericks in a man advantage scenario. Kareem not looking to block the smoke, but rather step in front of it. This is ultimately going mid to B, so Kareem, very important to this fight. Flash, he gets nothing on the initial vision, but Hardy, a second later, no refrag, solo, locks down the B tunnel. Uncollected, 35 seconds, wasn't enough, but Kareem doesn't take time. As the Mavericks, it is right then and there that they will inch up to 12. And it is a precisely the same scoreline Mavericks had advantaged when ITE started their comeback back on Ancient.
With it all to do, everybody knowing what lies ahead of them if they can't. A fourth map, for sure. Something I doubt they were pining for, and additionally something that I doubt they were expecting given what they had put into that last map. Hang on through long, spam is in, Tyler is dead. Sure, there's a little bit of damage inflicted otherwise, but they're going to be set packing even further than that. If straight through the slit that is left over, the Opper is down, and then the Opper of the CT side once in. Oh man, they can't even get through the first hurdle of this round. It feels so disrespectful.
I mean, this is what I thought might have been the case for Ancient. The Mavericks, guns back in hand, lock this up, and they send us to the third map with ease, 13-6. ITE Scarlet bounced out of Dust 2 as the Mavericks will stay perfect in their Dust 2 record on the season. 5-0, beautiful work from them, and off the back of some insane carry performances, especially in the first half from Karimikov and Kareem. Thankfully, had Solo really join the party towards the end of that thing, and a brilliant opportunity to see this one out. As to be honest with you, I was a little bit scared there for the Mavericks, as I was highlighting a moment ago, but ITE weren't quite able to make it work.
Yeah, and it's Nuke up next. It's going to be ITE maybe a little bit more comfortable, but going on to a T side on a map that doesn't really favor you. It's not going to be throwing you very many nice pitches. It's going to be more curveballs and screwballs than anything else. I think that they're going to have their work cut out for them, given how that one felt a little bit flat in a map that's significantly easier to get the ball rolling. We saw it just shine through, but there was not really a whole lot of room for it. I mean, obviously the round count disparity was something where we weren't going to get unless it was consecutive, very many change-ups and adaptations from them. So once one thing goes wrong, it's kind of just like, well, I mean, what do we have left in our back pocket? Everything. We've barely even tapped into our playbook, it feels like.
Yeah, some struggles, no doubt, and I think for the Mavericks, that was an opportunity to right the ship, and they've done that very nicely and dominantly at that. But for ITE, move into another one of their map picks. This Nuke has been an opportunity for them in the past. And to be honest with you, it's been a little bit of a black mark on the MSU record. They haven't played it a lot in the maps they have played. has been a loss, so we'll have to see if this is going to be a continuation. ITE Scarlet, the opportunity to inch back into the lead. We'll be jumping into Nuke right after this break.
Stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me? You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
Breaking up, all this static running through my blood. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Out of luck, can I keep my head above this time? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me. Blown around in a storm that only brings me down. Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Alrighty. I don't have.
I am
not?
here.
He's here.
I am here, I swear.
Allegedly here, but a ghost, a phantom, one might say, as we have seen ITE unfortunately lose out on Dust 2, the Mavericks bringing this thing back to a tied scoreline in the Division 2 Grand Finals here at the NECC. A beautiful scene, though, as they have been, oh my goodness, he's here, back in business. We do have some uncommon traits, though, to talk about on the ITE Scarlet side of things. Because to be honest with you, I think some points to probably touch on to get interested in, as these guys have certainly had some struggles. Even though that, maybe the struggle is not the place to start, I think they've been a team of resiliency. They've been resilient, been able to mount a comeback here and there. That's been impressive to me at the rip, but their lack of adaptation worries me.
Sure. And I suppose I also must now have those uncommon traits, so I will think of them eventually, but the only one that I can off the top of my head, and having not known a single one of these players, will be a pretty straightforward game plan, I think, for the Mavericks. I'm not going to say that actually driven a lot of their, if it is, we'll fix it. That's what we call that. A lot of it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality going on, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, fair enough. Unfortunately, we've missed our pistol round. NTE. They'll bring themselves back into this thing.
In bringing them back into this thing, we've got 2 MP9s and an AK left over. Picked up off the body of Grimster. Nice little burst out from Hardy to keep the highest of firepower rated players out from conversation. From that point forth, feels almost a little bit desperate from the rest of them, just trying to shift walk their way into any other choke point.
Trying to remember. I've seen a lot of actual force buys for MSU, and I really don't think so. The round that they won on the T side, quote unquote, force was like they had 1 scout, and then they had deagles. Otherwise, it's technically more of an eco. So not a lot of actual force buying for MSU. They go for it there, and it doesn't really work out all that well. They'll have to eco in this case. Be too big a deal.
Yeah, they have a CZ though, so I hope they lose.
Oh, I thought you were about to say some utterly absurd things like, yeah, CCs, so they're gonna win.
Got ourselves just a meltdown on yard where at least Kurmakov is going to be patient enough to be able to tap out a single kill. I mean, that's really all you could have asked from this round in its entirety, I feel as if, but going to be the breakdown now of 3 very quick succession for ITE, looking to get this one pretty rapidly going. The offensive giving us a weird kind of, I don't know what the word would be, a back and forth as to what I'm led to think of their map pool right now, where obviously we haven't seen them against guns yet, so I do want to see their depth and see it tested, because this one, a map where if you miss 1 smoke, 1 flash, spacing is bad, your round can collapse right then and there. So this is the time where maybe I'll get my answers. This is also the outside yard smokes thrown slightly delayed. They want to actually get 2 red prior to them popping to give them a little bit more time and maybe a better drop onto the CTs who wouldn't have made the move instantly, but Kurmakov is ahead of that. Solo's ahead of his smoke self-flash. Now, maybe a little bit too overzealous, to say the least, and they've gone beyond. Kurmakov has no idea. He thinks the player up top is the soonest to arrive in his domain. This is already looking kind of scuffed.
Yeah, this is not a good situation at all, though. Dream? Oh, no way he's alive. He's still alive? Cannot be possible. Phantom trying to make the move around, and ultimately we'll just decide, hey, I guess I'll join my team. All good. He shepherds an important device, the bomb, down onto B. George and Kareem trying to move on in. Will Hardy first, Crimster second, and the Mavericks still yet to pick up a round here on Nuke.
In absolute peril right now, honestly, are the Mavericks. Okay, so maybe you know more than me. I'm assuming you've had the chance time-wise, as well as the fact that, for those of you who aren't aware, I don't have a computer readily accessible right in front of me. I'm at a monitor. Have you seen the difference between these two teams and who would be considered like a favorite by any means? Because I feel like when I look at the Faceit map page, at least I see Kurymakov, and I'm like, oh, clearly that'll be the one.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really wanted to make this point when we were talking about uncommon traits, but we didn't quite have the graphic ready. So, the thing that makes me feel like the Mavericks have an advantage in this series overall is that they have star riflers, and I say riflers because I feel like Solo has at times provided that opportunity. Kurymakov, obviously the front runner, but then Kareem on the AWP. Whereas ITE, no one really, struggling big time, especially on that Dust 2, out of anyone in specific, but no one has really shown themselves to be that X-Factor rifler or, carry potential player. And so that's why, in my mind, I feel like the Mavericks are the favorites, even if not by a wide margin.
Well, I mean, already here on this one, not really seeing a lot of that. So it feels almost like redundant for you and I to say it, but I do agree, like I said earlier, about when I had kind of taken a little peek over at the page and the players. But outwardly facing on the defense of a map that really does lend itself to this. I feel like this team's top heaviness is really shining and showing through. Kareem's looking to get active in HUD. He's so loud about it. I don't know how that wasn't calmed. Hardy was right on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just misunderstood where that audio cue was coming from, but I'm in agreement with you on the missing piece there, that miscommunication. Things happening fast, though. As that is something that ITE not ready for. Sort of endlessly aggressive, too, with Kurymakov walking into the squeaky smoke. As a good position ahead of it, though not going to be aware of Rose. They're in a great spot. Will be punishing Kurymakov. Kareem, though, still had the line. That bomb dropped, though, out from HUD. I think he believed George had that. That is a ridiculous adjustment from Tyler.
Tyler was mid-spray shooting somewhere he didn't even know. He was shooting at ghosts, even.
Well, thankfully, Solo's going to ensure that that doesn't get too far out of the grasp of the Mavericks, but it's really via Kareem that round is a relatively easy success. ITE, I think they had no map control. Their game plan, to be honest, seemed like it was all about A from the start, and when they lose a player initially, they don't reset and look for anything else. They just instantly decide, okay, well, we're eventually going to commit to this A site. That's where Kareem and George were sitting and waiting.
Patience is a virtue. So. And right now, after what was a bit of a slamming from Kareem, now he's been forced to be patient, changed to a weapon of high firepower, but a different variety of such. Here out on yard, Kurymakov at the right moment collects onto Hardy. The two big hitters for this series, and now the shoes on the other foot. Tyler's got the op. Don't want to show yourself to him, and I don't know whether or not actually he would have been spotted the shoulder or the barrel, whichever. It doesn't really matter. Still, though, they're at a man disadvantage to make it two. Kareem does not need to fight.
Fight he will not. Down to B, go ITE. Although I don't love that Crimster is actually just not going with Rose. Splitting up doesn't feel like the right move, though. I don't know that their 2v4 situation would have gotten any better if they stayed together to go down B. Regardless, it's the Mavericks building a little bit of a momentum into this CT side. ITE, their hot start, not quite over, but they still have residual cash to purchase more. This will be the last chance they have to recover this situation, at least for the moment. I say that. Very weird purchases. They kinda are saving, I realize.
This is a little bit awkward even there, though, where you say that, but are they about the same mind? I don't really know. It feels like everybody's kind of
Doing
two
their
different
own
talks
thing.
about it. They're still going to be giving it a look back. I don't even know at this rate.
Well, ITE can't really make up their minds about how they wanted to invest. Fully half some assembly of the two doesn't matter, because it is an entry, doubly so, onto the A site. One trade, all that was required, and a little bit of a ridiculous swing, I think, from Kremikov in mini. Whoever comes through that mini smoke there, it's ambitious, to say
Yeah,
the
I
least.
think that was solo. If you're talking about the
Yeah, it
third
must
to
have
last
been.
player to die.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. A little disjointed, a little bit ugly. I asked not so long ago the question of what are we going to see from this T side, if not them just continuing to hammer on when the guns were through, and it's some more of that. It's a lot more of that, honestly, and the chances for them to get whimsical and cute with how they've played positionally on this as a defense is also kind of running out. The opportunity for them to throw a curveball at ITE that I had mentioned in the pre-show, kind of running out of plays in the book. I don't know if Crimster spotted that player just beneath. He should have just now, if none other at the time, but
Oh, no.
he doesn't quite acknowledge it, and that makes me worry.
Good news is there's just so much activity here. I feel like that IT should know that there was something up, and well, the loud retreat will give that away if anything else did not. But the investment into that yard fight for nothing to really be denied, interesting to say the least. Fortunately for the Mavericks, IT didn't get down. Tyler been closing the squeaky door. I'm still currently in spawn, ready to throw a second set of yard smokes. That being Phantom, just deploying those. Likely for this to be a B wrap. And I'm really worried about the bomb and its positioning. Finally going to join up. Spacing not ideal here on the ramp side. Kermikov one frag and be able to grab another. Traded. Party. Time is seriously coming down to the wire, and now it doesn't matter. He's too far out of this, and he should have been dead, but I'm just gonna stop starting to say things based on positioning, because every time I start to say things like this guy should be dead, they're not.
Yeah, I think that that's probably for the best for all parties, maybe even in hindsight. He'll probably be pretty thankful of that, should they miss out.
A lot of those scrappy moments where things look as if they should be settled, and then they're not.
And then all of a sudden, that's like one of the what is it, worst rules of writing or something like that. I forget what it is, but just like writing like and then all of a sudden is like the big no-no, or like the cop out, the easy way.
And then
Or
the
like
plot
the
happens.
rule, it's like a rule of improv or something, but here we go. Donut able to hold down for not only the first, but the second just the same. They run out with not that much a problem, even flexing the knife on us on camera prior to hitting the deck. And the Ops got his next point. They're going to be playing with and off of one another, but Kareem has been hit significantly so. There's an insurance policy in Georgia. Art should also be ready and raring for a fight. Here's the tap from both his left and his right. The bullets whiz on by. He should still be bound, I feel, and he will be. Gun to be grabbed, but this round's still far out of reach.
No access on B with two players down there. Half of this bomb is uncertain at best, and of course, ITE don't know that short of box in. I'm saying that with some certainty. Is Kermikov up on A? Yeah. So, it is indeed certain. Timing for Solo. Perfect. I'm going to lock down the second side of that. Only one loss. Mavericks are back in business, but Tony, I think my question for you is this too late? I mean, ITE already have 6 rounds. 8 more is really a bonus, isn't it?
No, it's not too late. It is not too late, and I'm not just saying that because of the history of this best of 3. I've been saying that now because I think Nuke has really just changed. I think this map has, in CS2 in particular, really not been the same map in the slightest with how my expectations are set. Like, nothing is ever a done deal. No T-side is ever too high up for a CT side to regain from, and then the same in the inverse. I've witnessed too much, Vincent, and it's been too consistently inconsistent for me to ever nail down anything that should be irregularity, because only irregularity has this series been. Through that smoke, good kill. Kareem, too, barely even saw the, or maybe he did. Maybe he had just gotten a glimpse between the 2 of those smokes, but even then, it's still an absolutely nightmarish moment for ITE.
Well, I mean, seen, who cares? Solo, heard, all of them. Now he backstabbing. 1 bomb to be planted, sure, but it might be denied. Rose escape barely acquired. Just not there. Rose gets theirs, and Tyler was alive for just a moment. Rose 1v2, and it's a brilliant first shot on George. Kareem will need to pick up this quad. Nade on the target, and will not be able to pull the trigger. So Rose 1v2, a very quiet individual throughout this best of 3. And that will be a clutch, much needed for ITE.
Starting to believe at that point, after my little speech, that was going to be the one that really got them back on track mentally as well. Vincent, that was a 5 versus 2.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Especially with all the information that was being gathered inside the smoke. Solo knew what was up. Sorry, what did I miss?
You missed just Kareem zoomed in on the player cross to red, shooting, re-zooming, and then almost half a second after, second-guessing himself, unzooming, and just dying out in the middle of nowhere from a hardy swing. It's really, really tough right now to see these kinds of decisions as well as these kinds of rounds and fights go to the wayside in favor of ITE for the sake of the Mavericks in this series and in this map. Because they are not looking like favorites. They are looking like literally anything but.
Number might be the way back in. Might be. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it. Donut will fall. Getting there 1, and it is tie, excuse me, 8-4. MSU struggling big time.
Basically a tie. Close enough.
Yeah, probably. I just can't shake the feeling that these momentum swings that have been so consistent throughout this best of 5 so far, we might be about to hit another one. Just the vibe I'm getting.
I like
Gotta
a good
get Kareem
vibe.
some help, though. Gotta get him some help.
Yeah, certainly soon. But honestly, he's starting to let himself down as well. So
Yeah.
now I'm really
Difficult when the pressure's on, when you feel like you're the only one who's really delivering.
And he's the opper, no less, so it just gets even more hopeless if you're thrusting yourself into scenarios where there's no trade there from Solo. He's still occupied with the player out yard. Now he's got to just forfeit it, and they're going to be locking in on him, or at the very least boxing him in to where if he runs back, it'll probably be too late. His teammates, though, alleviate some of that issue now, knowing that there should be a rotation pulled from off their lurker. This is a better look. Dual Berettas, bomb planted, smoke up in his face means that once he swings that door, it is hopeless, but all for naught. So long as they can get themselves on the right crosses. Crimster, still no way in then, calling for Phantom to make the first move. He plays on 4, it flips his crosshair from high down to low and finds Donut as well as the fact that they don't have a kit, though, might make this one done as it stands. They're both low, but it's not going to matter. They've only got 10 seconds to full stick. Phantom try as he may. He'll likely go down just the same, regardless of whether it's to the guns or to the bomb.
MSU making way for a story of that momentum swing and the comeback story on the T side, considering that pistol victory. And for me, ITE, a little bit too disjointed in that retake. Had good positions, I think. Needed to be able to move together a bit more freely. Smoke on single door was very frustrating for them. The ecoing. Oh, Tyler. Fortunately, not going to get to use it.
Would have been fun. Gotta just continue their way on both directions as the hut and ramp pincer maneuver doesn't get them much good. ITE down, but they were kind of just waiting for the better and more bolstered by. So it's a precursor to something that they hope to be much better. And as I said, Vincent, earlier, that there's really no telling what a CT/T side on Nuke will give anymore, I don't think. At almost every level.
Yeah, so is that just like your own personal Nuke experience, or is that like stat based? Like, tell me the story.
I think it's, how do I word this? I think it's based in stats as well, but it's like hidden. Like, you'll never actually know unless you watch the game how those rounds go back and forth, right? So,
because I vibe check feel like you're right.
Second highest CT percentage map in general, but that's not to say that there aren't games that go one way or the other. Like, I guarantee you that you'll find a game where more T rounds are won predominantly, but that'll be canceled out by the majority of them being CT side if all goes correctly to plan, right? It's really ugly Counter-Strike lately, I feel like, on this map, and I don't know what it is, but the T sides have been given something put in their water, because right now you can see it's working. Ever so diligent are the last of these CTs in trying to pick apart these players, and Donut, being the first of them, was scattered from all the rest, but they wanted A.
And they got it. Phantom up in heaven.
Always plants again.
Yeah. Not going to be checking in for Solo. The gun model actually covering Solo's position. Phantom doesn't get any vision. I'm surprised to see Hardy move up that that ladder at all. Oh my gosh! Wait, possible now. Tyler goes swinging, and it seemed as if just the distraction had done enough. No kids. Seemingly absurd. I don't even know if they have this.
I don't think they definitely don't.
I don't even know that they would have had it otherwise. Tyler? Bro, you don't have a kit. Run. ITE, lose.
Think he even would have lived?
I mean, I guess that's fair, but give it a try.
I guess. He's having a little bit of, pardon me, having a little bit of fun with it, I guess. He's just trying to make a little funny bit. Maybe he said something in his team comms. Keep the vibes up while they're slowly deteriorating.
Yeah, and it's not so slow. It's pretty quick right now. Slowly than all at once, one might say. Because the Mavericks, within one round of clawing back the disadvantage that they found themselves at in halftime, one round away from, honestly, proving your point exactly as you made it.
Sometimes I will it into existence. It's not actually fair.
Were you using your powers at this point?
I never know when I am, and it's never intentional.
That's dangerous.
My will, I only realize is so strong after the fact. It's post will realization. Already trying to manifest the frag here from the Desert Eagle, and he might have actually gotten himself one. There you go. Dream is down and out. There is some power in the mind after all, but Tyler's AK-47 a little bit more powerful, I feel like, than the brain, but he needs to get here in order to put the brawn onto paper for that to be true.
Fakes. Can you fake? Let's too fake a fake.
I love that.
The answer is as many as you want, because Tyler's still being a menace over here. Actually found a Molotov. Some work. Rose not over peeking. Now Phantom comes flying in. Fortunately, They are going to catch one, but Tyler still alive, and he has caught the individual that was in prime position. So he won't survive. Phantom, AK acquired. Plenty of ammunition. The bullets, they're oh so low. And the first elevated falls. Now knows where the second is. Great shot for Phantom as the clutch comes through for ITE. The Mavericks, you thought they had it easy. Up against pistols. No, Tyler, Phantom, they stand tall for ITE to maintain this lead.
Yeah, I mean, well and truly so. Phantom was somebody on Ancient in particular who I feel like came up pretty clutch, as well as came up close to them. Close but no cigar is always a bit of a toughie, right? But the thought that counts. It's not like he doesn't have that gene in him to try again at a later date. And try again if at first you do not succeed, and clearly he was due for one after quite some time off. It's going to be one where you're going to be thinking as the Mavericks in hindsight, if you're to lose this map, like that was our in, right?
That was it. Yeah, it was. Especially when they're now not broke, but man, 2 AKs, Eagle.
They ain't broke now, they about to be.
Yeah. We'll just say the debt collectors are coming calling, and the bank account's reading zeros. Hold them off for a while, but it's going to be a problem, especially if you keep going deeper indebted. Tyler dealing with the yard issue right now. Mavericks not fully committed onto that. Tough spot in a second. Be able to isolate a second Crag. It's Phantom, though. Once again, comes up in a massive way. This defense, ITE. Be locking this round up with Kermakov on 2 HP.
Yeah, I highly doubt he'll be able to get anywhere better. Already at the ramp is the Opera. He'd flown down through the heavens and trying to get ahead of the game. There they hit 10. Everyone's starting to feel like they've come into full character. All but, I mean, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy, and I don't know the face-it levels either to say that there should be an obvious answer, but Crimster and Donut in this game on opposite sides of this coin, it's just kind of like back-to-back, map-to-map, dependent to which of the two of them is the one that you feel is costing them a little bit more with their inability to get active.
Man?
I'm sorry.
Donut has 1,000 elo, man. Chill.
Okay. What's Crimster's excuse?
Be mean, dude.
You're the Opera of that team, as far as I'm aware.
mean?
Oh!
That was nuts.
That's a big shot. It's going to open up a little bit more for them to actually collapse upon A if they were any closer. They're all out on yard.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
late.
I was going to say they got 2 on ramp, so this could have been a big one.
Still, in technicality, could be, but the wall is closing in. Phantom, this is a nice spot too, Kermakov. There's just so many angles to do. Oh, okay. All good. Hardy was actually watching Phantom, I imagine, in my brain. It's like, you saw him!
Probably. That's always a hard thing whenever you're the spectator of the player who had seen someone and you have to make the comm as quickly as possible, and you either start just scrambling, maybe saying the wrong words, saying it too loud, too fast, sounds like mumbo jumbo. I've been there.
Yeah.
I'll start saying, like, to your right, like, too fast,
Yeah,
and it won't
like,
actually sound like the English language.
It's also like, you?
Oh.
Who's you? Oh, nice shot. Reem. Plantington? Mayhaps? Yes, is the answer.
Yeah, just got it off. Eagle's going to be hard strung to get anything more in dodging utility, whatever their will may be. It's going to pop right as he gets eked on out from all areas. A toughie, but a goodie. But a bomb plant keeps them competitive. You said that they were going to be broke. They were. They made their statement that they would like to play just a little bit more, or at least attempt at bringing forth some victories.
Yeah, and a couple of talking points that we had for ITE beforehand was, Like, what? Who's going to be the one providing the rifling firepower? Well, Tyler has really stepped up. Hardy has been consistently good. And Rose, that clutch. Not otherwise a big touch point this best of 5, but this grand final, NECC, you have been alive. Mavericks not fully up against it, but 11-7 score line. Yard control via a couple of smokes. Bomb walks slowly down secret. Great shot from George. What a flash from Solo that I didn't even get to see thrown. And Kermikov catches off Hardy. That is 2 of the biggest hitters, the 2 I just talked about, gone.
I mean, damage is good, kills are better, but money can't be taken away. What they have brought in and will bring through something that cannot be stricken from them, but strike the record if they lose this round. Good lord, thankfully there's only the first of them for the sake of the Mavericks' sanity. Crimster, I mean, like I said, they've got money, but they ain't got money like that. I mean, this is a little bit much, perhaps. Good adjustment, flick up. Player criticized previously, now giving it his all. Weapon of choice, scattered from one another. Nade will land right on top of Kira McCall, but I think it's too little too late. Backstab is there. Easy as peasy. Easy as peasy, that's what I just said. Yep, that's a thing. And 3 rounds gapped. Mavericks still going to be giving it their everything until the last drop of blood has been spilt in this map. They will not be saying die.
Can't be given up early. Not in a grand final. Not in a best of 5, that's for sure. That is one sure way to defeat. To give up a little bit prematurely. Not often that we've seen Kareem posted with this AWP towards ramp. He is this time. Opportunity presents itself, but he won't take advantage. Tyler, yard control once again, but it is a tangle with Solo that he gets in. Leave him walking wounded. 19 health in total.
Feels like Phantom should likely be stabbed in the side now that there's been a vacancy. Left open and easy, should have been calmed or something, or I'm not sure what the idea was. He was out on an island, his Heaven player wasn't even there. The op only arriving late to the game when the smokes are popping in his face. There's still a player on yards, so this feels, yet again, it's one where ITE kind of outplay themselves. It's not even Solo who gets that kill out. Kareem is fine and dandy to do it himself while Yard is still under control. 21 ease brought in with a fly up through the vent and a low HP Rose. It's all that's working well. Frankly, I'm not too happy with how some of these Scarlet rounds have been lost on the CT side, and I made that apparent previously, but this one's almost as egregious as it gets.
I'm split because it is just a lack of communication there. They're forced to make some sort of rotate because of how often the Mavericks have been down secret. They were throwing the nades consistently. They have been conditioning that as often as possible. You've got to be aware of that if you're Phantom. You've got to know that that's the case, and I don't know whether that's on Phantom or on his teammate, whoever was, you know, allegedly be covering that, presumably Tyler.
Little column A, little column B.
B. Whatever you want to chalk it up to, it's a problem. Reem delivering one frag out yard in onto Hardy. Something like a easy access to this anti-eco round.
Certainly makes for a good story right now, though, for how these maps have been anybody's game. Well, some of the maps. But more often than not, creating a little bit of a power struggle that, again, as I mentioned earlier, NECC or otherwise, you wouldn't have really known what was happening in this series unless you witnessed it with your own 2 eyes to believe it, Vincent. And I don't really figure that this is going to be a simple as retake for Tyler, who goes for this hard clear, though. That's great. Perfect crosshair placement. Player down below. Kareem on the op of all things. One shot missed. Likely a dead man. Has his teammate, but they're both kind of lackadaisical. I said it wouldn't be easy, but it frankly looks like it was the easiest as it could have ever been.
MSU just super passive. They just don't make any active move. And when they have a man up, there's no need for that to be the case. I can't believe how absurdly simple that looked. Especially, this round begins with ITE on pistols. Just insanity. Absolute craziness. The Mavericks, one step forward, another step back, and when you are at a deficit, that step backward is just devastating.
Like you're falling down the ladder. You're climbing it and you saw success, but the rungs too slippy to grip. Up on Kareem. Good pick back towards ramp, though. Can't let this one loose. Can't let any more of your hubris individually, separately get the better of you. There's one ready to swing in towards Hut, but Kuramakov is dead. And that immediately just spits in the face of what I had just asked.
Have the pieces in the right spot, though, do MSU. 2 down secret, 2 towards ramp. His responsibilities are on the ramp side, and AWP is a good spot to have it. He's got to nail the shot. And there's a Molotov, but they don't wait. They lose him. The process. Great flick from Kareem. That was the one player lower. Bomb plant for the Mavericks. And it's a 3-on-3. Post-plant retake now for ITE.
I mean, Phantom's got a smoke in his face, so he's going to try and blow that. Won't really go anything with it, though, as he just wants to keep them on their toes. Make a little bit of an easier life for those at the ramp, and Kareem's life is looking easy and free as he just breezes through 4 in the round overall, and another no ace. It will not, in the slightest, be a difference because he's done more than enough for MSU to keep this one kicking along, because look at the cash. It is right on the brink of being broken for ITE. They need to have a tactical timeout, in my opinion, to really brain out what they're going to look like for the last of regulation, or they're just going to buy in.
I hope not. I hope this isn't just the forced buy twice. No, won't be.
It's still kind of weird, but it's okay, I guess.
Why is it weird?
Hardy, I don't really feel like he needs Berettas right now when he's as broke as he is. What does he really aim to accomplish in this round? Because the answer should be very little to nothing. 1 bullet traded. They only have 1 round loss bonus here, Vincent, so...
Yep, he did indeed. That's a little heavy.
His teammate also could have dropped a weapon next round if he just saved. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Tyler could have given an M4 over to Hardy right now if he had just not bought his. And I don't know. That's almost deserving to go to overtime, I feel like, after that.
Oh, wow.
That's egregious. That's really egregious to me.
Already making an investment that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Tyler as well, though. Hardy buys dualies and he buys an M4 and armor. What is the point of either of those two things?
At least Tyler had the money to buy next round.
But he could have dropped Hardy if that was the real problem.
You're right.
And now look at them. They're all, like, limping through nades. They got a couple here and there. You know, they aren't going to be able to really get a good retake in if they intend on stuffing with utility in the beginnings of these rounds, as typically on Nuke you need to. And a FAMAS for Hardy, also not so great. No op. That's something Kareem could have a field day with. I'm not going to say I told you so if it falls flat, but I'm also not going to accept defeat if they win. Won't concede. There is a right decision to have been made.
See if ITE concede overtime. Hit. Actually, haven't seen a lot of these, not with this type of setup, but a lack of a top hut molly certainly problematic. Phantom is free to fire over the top of that. Gets the 1. Great adjustment for Kurimakov. Nade won't be on target. So Kurimakov's low HP, not punished, not denied. Solo, late out yard, down to B. A nice adjustment for the Mavericks, as this seems like overtime is in the cards.
down through this vent. It's the last chance they have, the last ditch. Solo may have actually just been dodged potentially. I think they would have just traded with one another. And yeah, he is at single, pardon me. Right in back through the smoke though, right into where Solo would have wanted Hardy. Hardy?
Yikes.
We're 20 seconds through the bomb timer being ticked with a teammate down vent, and it isn't apparent that the bomb is on B. That is wicked. Yeah, that is one of the more tough. I'm gonna use the word tough because I feel like I was already as mean as I needed to be. 2 rounds back to back to witness to see that one go down.
Yeah, I don't disagree. No notes other than yikes.
Yeah.
For Hardy.
Does anybody on this CT side know where their teammates are or what's happening? Is somebody's mic muted on accident? Phantom's top hut getting a double kill before they've even actually killed or even taken a gunfight with any of his teammates, and there's just nothing going on as far as being able to be supplementary. No heaven rotate by that rate, no HE to blow open the mini smoke. Instead, it's thrown all the way deep into the back end of the site. I don't even know.
It's a puzzling one, and it's one where ITE, they take attack right after as they get access to this additional back pause, but you know, it's clear that they were sort of hoping, or rather waiting on that. But I don't know that you can necessarily clean up those types of mistakes, you know, over
Can't turn
one
back
tac
time.
pause. Yeah. And say we're going to do better next time, but those words are going to have meaning.
Very least, one thing I do like about overtime probably the most is that we don't have a conversation that we need to bring back and forth about being reset and this money and that money. It's just gunfights. It's just Counter-Strike. It's just pure unadulterated fun. Or at the very least, you would hope for it to be such, as we got ourselves 1 versus 1 that has already ripped on through. It's going to be Solo, that is dispatched of pretty quickly. Same can be said for Phantom. Both of these players, though, have been a little more on the quiet side in comparison to the other expectations that we've set in the standard. Crimster, someone who we've also been saying needs to maybe do that little bit more. Molly should go deep towards those steps. The smoke at the door as well. An easy enough plant. I can't figure they'll be able to deny it.
The Mavericks winning in all of these stages of the round. Now into the late, they get down onto the bomb site, and with the plant down, in is denied on every position.
Wow.
Rykov claiming 3 in the process. Get the Mavericks 13. I think it's really important to impress as well in this overtime how important it was and is for ITE to win on Nuke. The Mavericks, they have not lost a Mirage. It has been their go-to pick, their second most picked map out of Ancient. They have dominated on Mirage. On paper, I think ITE Scarlet need this move.
Oh my lord, 2 HP. Crimster has to be counting their lucky stars. Their head is spinning from the impact of that op shot as it just barely leaves them alive, hanging by a thread. But if there is one singular good thing about that, rather, I guess, not about it, but good thing after it, is that he is the opper, and the weapon doesn't really require you to have the health so long as you shoot first and you do so accurately. So where they go next will be important, but Tyler dying may dictate that outright.
George. Nice couple of shots to put this one on ice. Not that there was much of a danger, I feel like, to begin with the stranglehold that the Mavericks had on A, but regardless. Now this ITE side are sitting scared, terrified, even before the bomb went down. Timer timer now ticking, but long 40 seconds.
And so these are
Rose
two
and
now.
Crimster. Say again?
I was gonna say these are two now where it just never even felt like ITE were in the round.
Yeah. And
I throw to you, my co-caster, and there's nothing to even throw it to because they just die immediately after.
So the scary part about this isn't that it was just a dominant round. What's different now? Because this really wasn't the case in regulation, as the Mavericks had built that comeback brick by brick. Sure.
Do you have an answer to that, or was that hypothetical?
No, I mean, do you have an answer? I'm a little bit lost as to the reasoning. We saw these breakdowns for ITE consistently. I'll just say communication because, you know, it's hard to know exactly what it is. But those breakdowns were happening, but it wasn't as if MSU were wiping the floor. But they've just done that twice over.
Well, the answer to your question is that ITE, in overtime at the very least, have taken liberties of actually getting into open spaces for fights or welcoming duels, but also showing their face at the same time. So that walk up to the top box at ramp, that's his attempt at getting a little bit quirky onto how he's going to be playing his position, as well as trying to get a little bit ahead of the game. But it's just going to be wild, the fact that the shot is hit and retort from Kareem. That's what's the change, though. The change is that you're asking for the MSU players to actually fight you. You're giving them a little bit more of a platform to stand on to do so in the first 15 to 20 seconds of this round, but they're just losing those fights. And it's happening to multiple players now, and from multiple players now. You mentioned George's name. I haven't said his name, I don't think, more than twice in this map so far before that point. So he, being a player that is able to do that, is indicative of what the level that ITE has seemingly deteriorated and dropped down to at this stage in the game. 4v4, 1 minute on the clock. No need to get hasty if you are MSU, but that is to say also that the rotations dictated do make for you to make one move or another soon.
Jello's timing's historically been really good over there. Mini this time denied Hardy. Secondary up. Not been an option very many time. Might just be the swap up that ITE need, though that is a great refrag. Kareem wrapped on just yet. Eats the nade. Krimakov looking on and knows seemingly someone is close by. Kareem nails it. Rose not looking the right way. The Mavericks have just opened a via Kareem. 3 more kills. 33 frags in total. 1v3 for Hardy. He's not the opper. He's going to have to give it his best shot.
Holy.
It's too bad it leads to naught.
Dude, Kareem, trade after trade after trade, and it wasn't even onto the players that had gotten the initial kills. It was other outside influences and where he was trying to isolate fights in order to bring back the disadvantage. And a big thumbs up to that. You know, it's an opper's duty every now and again. And honest and truthfully, Vincent, it's probably the hardest map for that to be possible that many times over.
On the T side, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most insane part about it. Is the T side.
Yeah.
And it's not just like he was, you know, farming yard or whatever. He was everywhere. Combat offing.
Mini pick, ramp pick, site pick, round over.
Walking up into A, getting 3 opening duel. Like, what are we... Ow.
Well, needless to say, you're impressed. I am as well, but there's a little bit more impressing that needs to be done. Completing the full thing. And, I mean, good lord, if Kareem keeps opping like this, I mean, what are you to do? He just throws it in your face, for God's sake.
And, well, not to undersell Krimikov's impact, he is 4 kills away from Kareem on the rifle. Been doing insane work. Those guys, as a duo, multiple rounds where, I mean, they have had all 5 kills between them. ITE, walk wounded. They're about to walk into Kareem again. Cannot afford to do that. Rose already crossed towards Secret. Bomb in their hands. Getting back through hard. George. Just Rose. That's bomb dropped for now. George staying alive. Critical. Smoke actually sorta gives ITE a better advantage. They at least get back over to try and claim this bomb. Kareem, he's just not stopping. Crimster alone. and Cripster will fall. ITE cannot close out on this nuke. It is the Mavericks who win for the first time all season in an NECC official on this nuke. They take it over the line. Very important map with Mirage up next. Absolutely mind-blowing that ITE could not find a way to take that one home.
Yeah, this has been a ripper. We've got ourselves a break, so do come back for the 4th of potentially 5 maps. But the way that one went, though, the way you'd set that one up, man, Mirage, it'll certainly be something. Let's see if the Mavericks have it in them.
I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds and I no longer fear the worst. You were the calm to my storm. You could take the wind. And though the winds were hard, weighing on our shoulders, these the eyes could never break us in. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb but first. But I've only stumbled over diamonds and I no longer fear the You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve. You were my horizon that I didn't see at first. You were my horizon, and the breeze is just what I deserve.
I would go through hell and back, make my way into the dark. 'Cause I'm trying to get to you, yeah, I'm trying to get to you. I wanna get to you, 'cause I gotta get to you. I would climb 1,000 mountains, swim across the darkest ocean. 'Cause I'm trying to get to you, yeah, I'm trying to get to you. I wanna get to you, 'cause I gotta get to you.
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Alrighty, as we jump right back into the action, this best of 5 is going deep. It's going the distance, as we will be jumping into touch on some uncommon traits here. As
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
Mavericks,
Oh, these are mine.
Tony, they are indeed. Talk to me. What are we looking at?
Unfortunately,
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
In the case of MSU, we've got ourselves a team in where I have been a little bit curious as to what to expect, as mentioned. As the favorites, I think
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
And it's been a bit problematic for them to be able to get over them in some instances, where they finally do at the end of this map. Heavy troubles, Vincent.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National
Guard. They still have
Guard.
themselves a bit of a problem as far as being able to get beyond just 2 players fragging out, because the players on the bottom, they're falling too far. So long.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
When everything else is disjointed, it's going to fall apart.
Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult, and to be honest with you, probably should have.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
The fact that they have had so many issues where, if their top individuals aren't delivering, nothing is.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
So for the Mavericks, I have confidence in the fact that they were able to take that nuke. Anytime they're
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
They'll be able to close things out. So definitely big opportunity. Also, just want to by the Army
Forge
National
Trials
Guard,
is presented by the Army National
well
Guard.
as our uncommon traits. You can find that over at nationalguard.com. Find your calling over there. Shout out to them. And listen, here's the thing that we've been having, talking about this ITE team. I was just highlighting how nothing has been set in stone for the Mavericks. Bro, this thing goes both ways. Like, this has been a problem on both sides of the equation, and I don't think it'd be fair not to mention that fact, because both, I guess, for a couple of different reasons, if we want to touch on some ITE uncommon traits, it's the fact that we have seen some situations where ITE, on that nuke in particular, they jump in and they have this massive lead, and it's not enough. And it's a breakdown communication of, honestly, some basics, but everything seems to be going wrong for ITE at the moment. And unfortunately, I think for me, that seems like the biggest problem that they're dealing with, is that they are not able to recover when things start to go bad.
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, it's felt like not even a map-to-map basis, but like a half-to-half basis. You're almost spinning a dial to see what the ultimate end-up is going to be as far as the come-out, when it's these teams that are obviously a little bit more, I'll say, I mean, they're college teams at the end of the day, for one, but like, they're going to be a little bit different from player number 1 to player number 5 as far as their experience levels, as far as how long they've been playing the game in general, as far as their mechanical abilities, as far as their fundamental understanding. But you can really feel the disconnect in that nuke in particular. Like, that one, out of any of the other 2 maps, were sure, like, they went on sprees of rounds where there was no answer, so to speak. On Ancient, there was eventually a turnover. On Nuke, it was never a reasonable point in time where I felt like that these things were going wrong or going right. It wasn't actually a way of play where I was just like, what great strategies that they're able to take them over with. No, it felt like they were almost boxing themselves into these problems. But this next map, the 4th of them, will have to be a little bit better for me, because you mentioned that Mirage as a masterful one for specifically the team up by a map, MSU. And okay, well, they are indeed up.
Yeah, and getting bigger, I guess, as well, with a gun round victory, presumably the first gun round, yeah. Going in the Mavericks direction. Didn't see how it happened, but MSU, I think that as much as I just highlighted how nothing has been set in stone, you know, seeing the Mavericks continue their momentum from Nuke into Mirage is important, because momentum has been a big deal, even if leads aren't necessarily that big a deal.
And listen, I also want to highlight, even though it's very early, they had a gun round, so I'll say it anyway. Donut and Solo are at 4 kills apiece right now, and those are two guys who I wasn't really impressed with, to say the least. I wasn't really screaming from the rooftops as to what their performances were putting in my mind. But here comes, oh no, a back turn, Deagle! Oh, the worst weapon possibly. Can't reset the accuracy in time after he's gotten George. And that's going to be okay for the point in time in which the Mavericks were quickly at a panic. Now they can actually breathe.
I just want to go back for a second and highlight Solo, because I don't fully disagree with you, but sure. Tyler. Oh my gosh, knife to the back, Solo. Was just about to sing his praises, and there might be more where that came from. Is there's a kill there. Tyler, flash. It was over. Doesn't have a kit or anything, so this round isn't for real. Mavericks eating a lot more damage than they would have liked, and of course Tyler getting a big cash injection. I'll quickly make the point that I think Solo wasn't crazy popping off the page from a stats or numbers perspective, but his lurk timings on Yard on Nuke were actually really good. He consistently was finding the right timing, and every time the Mavericks were hitting the lower site, he was always behind somebody, always denying a rotate, and I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, I don't want to get it twisted. I was very
need to be saying there.
Yes. I was very intentional with my verbiage in the sense that I had said that I wasn't screaming for the rooftops for them, but yeah, like they were good. He was good in isolation, but yeah, he wasn't the player of the match. Unfortunately, he wasn't even the second player of the match if I had to pick one, right? So like being the third guy only gets you so far. But when you are that third guy, which is I assume his role in some capacity, being a star rifler and op at his hip, then you can start to say when you're having better performances that you're being an X factor, that you're really almost cementing victory from that point forth, where the expectations are on everybody else, and the expectations of this B site were 2 kills. Tyler gets them. No rotate just yet. Phantom goes down, rarely without nothing, or without anything rather, and now we enter a danger zone where this op, he misses a shot, he may be forced to fall out and away, because this is an awkward jump through into the territory where one right up close and personal.
Oh man, great shot from Solo, but at least Rose gonna lock down the kill in the process. The rotation from Solo, feeling the pressure from Rose, was smart to go in through the door. 2-on-1. Rose, a big clutch on Nuke. Was it enough to get ITE the map? Might be enough here, not quite. Solo, 3 kills, making good on that point that you were making just a moment ago. The step up significant with Kermikov in the driver's seat. Solo isn't in the back. He is right next to him.
Here we go. High time for ITE, and I mean, I feel like we could just like snap our fingers and we would have gotten to this point where it's just kind of an ugly conversation to have as to when will the rounds start to post themselves, Vincent? When will the kills start piling on for any member of this team outside of just that top scorer and Tyler as the B-site player, no less? Primster's got nothing. It's only going to be a matter of time before that conversation's brought up once more, where previously we've had them on the chopping block. Right here, we've got this A-site with a problem. Smokes that they can lurk on. This is ITE's best potential play right now. They've created a little bit of chaos. They've also created a linear pathway, I would have figured, but George drops the ball, stares at a smoke, gets caught by Rose, who is still triple.
That it's all a fake, all a ruse. ITE, bite, hook, line, and sinker. So, the second attempt here onto Kermikov. That is a little bit frustrating. Kareem, though, nice shot, making 2 shots right into market window. Rose, third to move across the gaze of Kareem, who won't survive. All 3 die at his hand.
I wonder how many, if any, of these teams are in a facility together. That'd be cool.
It is not a requirement like it is for
yeah,
some
but
other leagues.
Come on, I mean, it's the finals.
Yeah. I don't know about either of these teams. A lot of them are. Like I know, for example, we saw UGA a little bit earlier in the playoffs of Division 2. They have a fantastic facility.
And you know that I know what that's like, and I love it.
I do, yeah.
Oh,
It's just a cool way to both have, honestly, just a buff, but also just like communication, I feel like, is always at a height in comparison.
Yeah, and you can like look each other in the eyes, and that really makes it a lot different as opposed to like tilt play where you like mute your mic, punch your deck. Like you can't really be getting away with a whole hell of a lot. So when you have a problem, it's a lot easier to just look your friend in the eye and be like, "Listen, man, please, please stop leaving me on site alone. Don't rotate, please."
We also see that frustration.
He's like, "All right, all right."
You see that frustration visibly as opposed to trying to, expect somebody to communicate it through a screen.
And you can raise them up.
Yeah.
If they're maybe having a tough game and getting tilted at themselves. I've been there.
Like.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those. It was really cool having people around me that were able to do that and like recognize that it was happening too. And I don't know, it made me like, in hindsight now, like dopamine release after the fact. I was like, man, that really did help. I did get back into the game because of that.
I realize that now about myself that I didn't when I was like playing competitively is not the right word, but like at any level or trying to play competitively.
Yeah.
That I do need that myself. So I agree. A big difference in that to make.
Holy, just holding, man. They are just holding angles, dude. Obviously against just pistols and armor, but I don't care what you're playing up against.
But like this has been true on gun rounds as well. That last gun round was the exception to the point that we're making there, but still a reality is the Mavericks. I mean, dude, I know that we got into this match a little bit late, but it is so fast that the Mavericks have just rocket shipped up to 7 rounds.
Yeah, with a timeout in the mix as well.
Dude, call another one. I think something needs to change.
Throw Vincent in there.
Listen, I don't think that would help, but it might at this point. I can toss an idea or two. I do think, just to like throw an idea or two out there, this type of mid-fight, not necessarily a bad one. I like the collapse. I think that they, not taking the first timing, a good opportunity. Fantastic 2 frags though from Solo to correct this. Phantom blinded, and Krimakov, who had recovered the AWP, sees him, dispatches with ease.
Hardy's all the way through this important choke point they've taken and run with many a time over, but they've also been very careful on clearing. I doubt they'll leave this one unchecked and unturned. I would be super shocked at that. Hard peek, still going to be won by Hardy, who goes wider, gets in, dinks one, damages another. I think he maybe even shot his team in the back. That's what it felt like, because that leaves them now in a clutch doable, but the off may be actually the worst weapon for the job.
Yeah, I mean, he can go pistol here, and it be the right move. Wonderful flick from Crimster. He's had a couple of those flicks that really make me believe, and this might be the one. 1v1, but Donut. He comes in flying for the clutch. Donut pulls the Mavericks back from the brink of losing their first round. ITE still scoreless after 8.
We're talking up a big game of Mirage here from this MSU team, Vincent Casts. Do you recall?
I do.
Would you like to remind the people of those statistics?
Yeah, it's been 4-0, at least through the regular season and the first 2 rounds of playoffs. Picked it as many times as they picked Ancient, which, reminder, that was their map pick to open this best of 5. And again, I know this one's a pistol round, but it feels like it's tired of saying it. It doesn't matter what kind of round it is the Mavericks relatively easily running over ITE. And, when there's been some more competitive rounds, it's mostly been through individuals stepping up a little bit. With a coherent team effort from ITE Scarlet.
Yeah, another multi from Solo, having a bit of a time, just kind of trouncing through all these different high impact areas of the map that go flat, buy in now, and this is just like the last. Like they'd need a 9-3 and they'd need that pistol for me to be in any way, shape, or form a believer of anything, because we've witnessed them not even give much of a backlash, a pushback rather, more accurately. When will they say no? Who will be the one to stand up to the tyranny in which the Mavericks have employed? Smoke into window, one to top mid, but there's only a solo player. He is just trying to keep them looking in his way. Hey guys, look at me, I'm here. And then make it easier for the rest of his team to make a problem. But look, that'll make it even better when they get a kill to go along with it. A player on the catwalk phasing back the smoke though. Phantom, a quiet name for quite some time. Felt like Ancient was their home, a little bit peppered in on Nuke, but just predominantly phased out of the conversation. But this would be a moment where I guaranteed that they needed those rounds. This would be the moment.
I don't love the B push there from the Mavericks, whilst their initial plan is like mid-fake-esque with an A hit in the backpack for later. Leaves them wanting when their B player goes down. Solo falls eventually over in middle, and George, he's been entirely unnecessary up until this point. The rest of his team playing so insanely well. Ona, Kermakov, Kareem, Solo, everybody delivering. The opportunity to step up, Rose. Only one on the site. That is an unfortunate missed Molotov. Gonna separate them. George will fall. But Donut, V4 will end in defeat. Finally, ITE Scarlet get off the goose egg.
Did I just casters bless them? Do you think that I just gave them a bit of energy that they needed? Put my hands to the air and lent it their way? Did I put a little bit of that willpower I was talking about before in their favor? Could be.
Maybe. Mayhaps. Need a little bit more of that. Are we missing window smokes? I think we're missing
Are we whistling window smokes out here? Listen, we're not. I was gonna say we're not whistling window mollies, but we're missing those two, Vincent, and we're missing window shots. Kareem's not.
Kareem's not.
Huh, yo, with Jinx.
Oh my goodness.
I need a little bit of a pump up back from this player in the ladder. Really, oh, Phantom falls. I trouble someone. I'll lurk out a ramp as well. Oh, Rose might even just get shot in the side if they're to walk any further. And yeah, readjusting and trying to pull back as the mid pressure gets to be too much. George is up 10-1 after this round without a kill. I know you said he's got 1,000.
That's what I was saying.
1,000. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I think he said he got 1,000 elo, but this is just like, this is like I brought my little brother along type
Dude,
deal.
why are you so mean? What the hell?
I love the guy. Yeah, you know I love him. We go way back, but
Dude, seems up 10-1. They don't need him right now.
holy crap and crap. His ADR is 7.
You guys are both mean. Our observer who pointed that out, and you won.
I am being a little bit mean, but I'm just pointing out the absurdity of the fact that there's just 4 players playing against ITE right now and winning 10-1.
Yeah. I mean, it'll happen. When
It's not even a slight to George. He's winning.
I agree.
Listen, dude.
I'm
sure George is the best vibe. He's got the coolest clothes. He brings the best snacks, the best back massages.
He does.
That's what I did. Hosts the best parties. Hangs out with the hottest girls or guys.
That's why you got carried.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I kind of built like my entire career off of being the guy that people will tolerate and enjoy for every now and again being around.
Mavericks, I'm sure they're enjoying themselves right now.
Yeah.
Up 10-1. What could be the final map of this best of 5, of this grand final. Double up. ITE. Missed shot from Hardy. Gonna be the A hit. Kermikov getting pretty maximum value out of this relatively half-hearted fake. Brilliant shot. Surely traded. It will be. Now they sprint out onto A. Rose can only post
George, baby! Get him! Get him, George! Yeah! Sick him! Running through spawn! He's on them now! Oh, I called him out. He knew it. He felt it.
You can't be mean and then be his biggest fan.
I can do whatever I want, and right now I'm his biggest fan. I'm jumping for joy to see him double down. Trade fragger, entry on CT. What can't this man do? Get him in op!
Jumping for George.
I'm jumping for George.
Well, take one, then leave Hardy all alone. Is George and Donut both towards CT. Could be the triple.
Let's go, George.
Might need to be the triple for George. Low HP.
Whoa!
Time is expiring, but George doesn't waste that time. He'll take us 11-1. Mirage has been dominant. Mirage has been everything that the Mavericks wanted and needed.
George was just waiting to get his turn. He was letting everybody else have their fun, okay? He knows what he's capable of, and he's only just flipped the switch from 0 to 3, from 7 to 22. The sky is the limit for these next 2 rounds. 2 aces for George, damn it! Give it to him.
We're devolving, so...
No, this is evolving. This is the evolution of this match, Vincent. This is George in full swing. This is everyone having their moment. This is now the time for this B-bomb site to be put under lock and key by the man, the myth, the legend that is George R.
Well, what if, instead, ITE taking this pistol, moving on forward, because they are breaking on through. Tyler, Hardy. Multi-kill. Tyler looking for a little bit more. Crimster will provide. Kermikov. Last man standing. P2K from distance, and it is falling off.
We got ourselves a round turned 2. This is all that the conversation needed. Maybe this is it. This is the comeback time. We've seen it before, Vincent. This is just going to be one step further beyond that. You were a believer once. I was a believer once. We flip-flopped a little bit here, but even then, I feel as if, though, looking at the buy from the Mavericks, they're actually going to be taking the time to save out and get their guns up in the next round, maybe even. Which is kind of interesting to me, given the fact that they have themselves 11-2. Usually with that buffer, I feel like you can make a call either way, but I mean, for fun's sake, as well as for the sake of not just having no nades and maybe 3 M4s to 4, you'd rather just get everything out in one go.
So a question of, like, you know, the amount that they purchased here, a little bit weird, considering that they are allegedly saving. SU. Ooh, nice spray. Again, eeks, but
yeah.
Tyler, maybe a little confidence boost, as that spray was quality. But yeah, MSU, the amount they bought, man. Okay, well, I guess they'll just buy bad guns and be fine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know. Whatever. We've seen some funny, quirky, little cute investments made across this series as well. Why stop now? I mean, we've got ourselves 8 rounds away, so have a little bit of a shooting gallery if you're Kareem on the scout, get your warm-up going with the M4s and the donut, and then, God forbid, you got to fall back on FAMAS's later. Well, at least you've had it in your hands once. But there it is. Kareem again. Enters the kill feed. Tags up Crimster just the same. 1 health. All of them in mid. How many of them have been calmed, though? Because it doesn't look like there's going to be any aggressive moves towards Ramp or Palace immediately, but only then does Donut do so.
Love how much the ITE are sticking together on this thing. Oh, nice shot from Crimster. Lead them over into George. Big impact round at the last second in the half. He's going to need more. Taps onto the 1, and it gives him a little bit of time play around with. Donut, he is nowhere close. There's no reinforcements on this site. George playing hard to get. They've been dodging around the empty pillar and does a little bit more damage, but Donut tasked with a 1v2. Timing pretty darn decent. Jump spot, though, even better for Hardy. Throws wide. Further. They anticipate. Rose will close. ITE pick themselves up a 4th round and gotta put one foot in front of the other. That's the game plan for ITE Scarlet. So many times throughout this best of 5, throughout this grand final, it's been near certainty. Back on Ancient, we saw that for MSU. They had control. ITE on Nuke, they were in control, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just wanted to say really quickly to interject that these pistols for Mavericks, like, buy after buy back, as soon as they get their rifles out and play. I mean, Kareem has been the talking point, and I kind of highlighted it with the scout. He's got himself chances, pepper out damage here, but if they can, like, actually avoid him a little bit, or maybe even abuse him if they can pull the wool from over his eyes, I think that that might be the best way of play on this map, seeing how it's gone thus far. George is the B anchor player. There's room for them to get a little bit of a pull off and then maybe make the mid round where I wouldn't say abusing him necessarily, but the rotations could leave them a gap.
Certainly tend to agree with that sentiment. Minnesota State looking like be left out in the lurch once again. Kermakov. AK yoinked. Why is he just not going to save? Be doing that. Just a little bit of a more aggressive decision to go back towards CT spawn, and he will back off as expected. One world, though, where ITE make this comeback from 11-1 down. And it's not for the series, just to extend play. It's just to send us to overpass, where the advantage, you get more reasonably flies back towards the ITE side. Overpass, a map that the Mavericks haven't played one single time over the course of the NECC, over the course of their Division II run. Not once. So with that, SU get another gun round opportunity. Kareem's AWP. Then
Hardy's T-side opping, I think, is going to be a little bit interesting to catch. And especially if he's going to walk late into an exposure to topside con where Kareem sits pretty. I mean, the rest of this round is going to really hinge on whether or not their rifles can break down the doors of fully stacked bomb sites that have no reason for players to leave. And if history is to give us any indication of the likelihood of that, Vincent, it isn't going to be very high probability.
no, it's not. Oh, don't walk into Kareem again. Tyler does just that. No refrag. No opportunity. Kermakov, a nice angle. It's well in window to be a threat. He is. Donut is one. Bros. 1v4. Oh, right on the money. 12. Minnesota State University. Mavericks will get themselves 7 chances. Win this grand final. Put themselves as the champions, Division 2.
We've seen those be squandered before, but not by the Mavericks as egregious as it would be here. This is something where Desert Eagle on Hardy is going to be a tough one. Yopper, never going to be missing the tough ones, though. A running, full sprinting AK out through mid, even just a quarter to half blinded, is still going to be able to put his scope through the skull George, guys, if they're B, dropping an incendiary, lobbing it in deep, and it's going to stop them from going through. As a matter of fact, it's going to continue pressure on with the player dead, that this should be an easy caging of the rest of Scarlet.
That's the idea. That's the intention. See what Minnesota State can do to close this thing out, to convert this 5-on-4. Ream walks away, untouched by the molly, but needed.
Dude.
Oh, what a ridiculous swing. Primster has no chance.
I mean, Kareem's playground. No, not another repeat. Come on. Is he just going to shoot into the smoke even? Flash over high. The AK of Kareemakov is going to be fine. And it looks like everybody else is going to be falling to their demise. It's this third map taken by the Mavericks, unless Party on a Deagle. Now only Phantom at Stairs can say anything to stop them. Crowned and coronated your champions for the Division II Spring 2026 NECC League. This is the Mavericks, and they have earned it.
Minnesota State University doing everything right. It was tenacious at times, tentative in others, and ultimately a aggressive and strong close on that Mirage. I think we all ultimately kind of needed that, considering how uncertain many things were throughout the lead up through the rest of that best of 5. But I can say with certainty now, Minnesota State deserved this victory. 3-1 in the end, a fantastic win.
Yeah, I mean, eyebrows raise, eyebrows fall. Ancient feels like that's the beginnings where everything was thrown for a loop. The second map, okay, now we're in for something. The third, I mean, what a brilliant display from them to be able to pull on some of that resilience you were talking about. And then the finale, I mean, it couldn't have gotten any better. Like, full power. If there was like a lever that was being pulled, Vincent, it was slowly being cranked, and then they went all the way over when it came down to map number 4.
Yeah, we talked about consistently how there was these X factor individuals, right? Kareem so consistently was delivering that, and there was a lot of help from other individuals, but Kareemakov and Kareem were the two main ones. Everybody pulled up, and everybody delivered one of those, big moments. Even George, who we were both joking and highlighting a couple of times.
Love George, big George fan.
Super necessary. Bro had a clutch right at the end of the first half, and it took a moment to get to the closing point, but ultimately everything goes right, and it's a beautiful way to be the champions for the Mavericks, which tragically leads us towards the end of our show here. Not the end of things here at the NECC, though. We got League of Legends, the spring finals continuing tomorrow. Make sure that you're checking that out. Alongside some Valorant, the Aurora series will be moving on and continuing it. And we got Nationals coming up as well. So Counter-Strike not going to be leaving your screen. We still have Nationals to complete. So that's going to be next week on Wednesday. So make sure that you check all of that out. It's been an absolute pleasure and a beautiful way to get things moving. So thank you so much for watching here at the NECC. Peace out and have a good night.
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This